It's time for Intelligent Machines. Paris and Jeff are here. Our guest this week, MG Siegler, longtime venture capitalist with Google. He now writes about AI for his own newsletter, Spyglass. He's a great interview, and he's coming up next. Then we will talk about the new Google image model. We play quite a bit with it. It's called Nano Banana. And how do you load the dishwasher? I guarantee you, somebody thinks you're doing it wrong. All that and more coming up next on Intelligent Machines.
Podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
This is Intelligent Machines with Paris Martineau and Jeff Jarvis, episode 834, recorded Wednesday, August 27th, 2025.
Gewgaw.
It's time for Intelligent Machines, the show where we talk about AI and robotics and all the smart little doodads and Gewgaws surrounding you these days, and all of us these days. Speaking of surrounding, I'm surrounded right now by Paris Martineau, investigative reporter at Consumer Reports. Hi, Paris.
Hi, Leo. Don't
Long
look
time
now.
no see.
I'm in your wall.
It's only been a few days. You were great on Twit on Sunday. Thank you for joining us.
Always lovely to
lot of
return
fun.
to the mothership.
Yeah, I noted at the time that that's where we first found you, was as a regular on Twit. And I said, when Stacy left this show, I said, gosh, I don't think Paris will do it, but let me ask. And you did, and I'm so glad.
Of course. Now, who's that man who was playing a speech-to-text thing into the microphone?
Because I was
during someone
correcting
else's
Leo. He was doing a GIF thing to another word.
Is it Gewgaw? Gewgaw? Who are you asking?
I don't even know what we're referencing,
Gewgaw.
to be honest.
I said all the doohickeys and Gewgaws surrounding you. Well, what do you say, Gee-whiz or Gee-whiz?
I used to say Gewgaws, but I certainly don't say G-jaws. That's completely
So what
offensive.
if it's Gewgaws? Did you ever think of that? Say it. What are you playing? He's saying Gewgaw. He's saying
Google.
it wrong.
Gewgaw.
Gewgaw?
Gewgaw.
What the hell's that? That's not what...
I say Gewgaw, but it's spelled.
He says Gewgaw.
It's spelled Gewgaw.
And who are you?
Oh, hi.
I'm
the pedant.
The pedant. Jeff, he's a professor. It's okay. He's allowed.
See?
Jeff Jarvis.
That goes with the job title. Yeah.
Emeritus professor is even worse than professor. Emeritus. It's gotten to the point now I don't even have to say it. Emeritus professor of journalistic innovation at the Craig Newmark Graduate School of Journalism at the City University of Nork.
Today's a bad day for language.
He's now at the State University of Nork in beautiful Stony Brook. Gewgaw. All right, get serious because we have a serious guest on.
Yes, we
Do you
do.
mind? Do you mind?
Okay,
MG
we'll
Siegler is
behave.
an old friend, been on Twit many times in the past. He then left for a great career as a venture capitalist. Were you at True Ventures, Google Ventures? Where were you, MG?
Google Ventures, yeah.
Google Ventures.
And is that Google or Gewgaw?
Jugal or Google?
Now he's adjourned to London, which is pretty cool.
Yes, hence the darkness here.
But even before you were a VC, you were, I think, a very successful, well-known tech journalist. And I think you have a little hankering to get back into the game.
Yeah, I did the VC job for a little over a decade, and that was good fun.
How was that transition?
It was good. I mean, now it became sort of a cliched thing, right? There became this sort of TC to VC thing. I was at TechCrunch for a long time, and
Classic.
and it became sort of a more well-trodden path afterwards. But honestly, it set me up well. I didn't go to school to sort of become a journalist. I stumbled into it. And so when the opportunity came to sort of move onto a tangential career, I jumped at that. And yeah, it's sort of finding interesting companies to write about was the same high level mandate. Obviously, there's some differences in the day-to-day, but yeah, it worked well, I hope, knock on wood, for me. And now I'm just still love writing, so trying to
Yeah. Well, you're great. And you still a little bit have your hand in business. It says, according to Wikipedia, you're on the board for Slack.
Well, I was before it went public. Yeah. Wikipedia,
Okay.
they're
And
pretty
you
slow
were
to
invested in Medium and Secret, which is cool.
God bless.
Yeah.
No longer 500-ish words. I did enjoy that, though. I love the conceit that you could get anything done in 500 words or less.
Thank you. I've always been trying to, come up with little mind hacks to get me spurred writing again. But
his current newsletter, Spyglass, Insight from Afar, not so far, just across the pond, is actually well worth reading. And I've been trying to get you on for a while because you write a lot about AI. By the way, I did have to say, I agree with you about Google's distractingly smarmy Pixel event. We talked about this last week.
Yeah, that was a weird watch. From afar, wasn't there, of course, but yeah, it was. I don't know how I feel about taking a late night talk show host to sort of do these things.
Well, and look at Jimmy Fallon. Your picture, I love what you picked. Adrienne Lofton was beautifully put together, really great presenter. She's of course CMO at Google. But Jimmy looks like, I thought he was jet lagged until I found out the event was in Brooklyn. It was just, I guess he had a late night on the subway. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
but it just doesn't look all there.
He was rough. The whole thing just had a weird vibe to it. Very strange. I don't think we'll see them do that again anytime soon. I think they got the message.
Yeah, pretty clear. What do you think they were trying to do? Was they it was my impression that Google still has ambitions of being a consumer device, the Pixel.
Yeah. I mean, obviously everyone for the past couple decades has been trying to emulate the Apple model of doing these things, the Steve Jobs keynote. And, I think Amazon and some others have tried to switch things up a little bit and had varying degrees of success, some less so. But I didn't hate the overall notion of what they were trying to do, bring on someone who is established, Jimmy Fallon, doing a sort of sit down and see if they can take some of the weight off the shoulders of the people who, while they're fine presenting, that's not what their actual job is, right? And you think like, oh, maybe you can grease the wheels and get a conversation going a bit, but it just felt fake, right? It felt stilted. The whole thing was like just awkward. And so again, I don't hate the idea to try it, but it just didn't work from the.
I thought the Googlers all did a better job than the stars.
For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's kind of part of the real embarrassment. The other thing was they had a compelling story to tell.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon.
I was saying the bar is just so low for the Googlers. It's really impressive that they did.
No, Adrienne Lofton was incredible. She was really talented and really she was a presenter. And Jimmy just was phoning it in. The thing that bothered me the most was they actually had a story to tell, which got buried under the
100%. Yeah. Look at where Apple's at right now, right? They're trying to sort of come back around and they've obviously flubbed the AI story. Google has the great AI story with these devices. And yet they, looking back at that event, I can't even remember sort of what the main features they were trying to convey were because it was so distracted by the whole Jimmy Fallon being excited about the color palette and being excited about
and getting it wrong, incidentally.
Yes,
he picked up the wrong phone and named it the wrong color. She says, Moonstone, Jimmy. It's not purple. And it was funny because a couple of days later, Google revealed that they had been secretly testing a new image generation model, Nano Banana, and said, no, it's not Nano Banana. It's actually part of Gemini. And it is, I think, arguably the best video and picture generator out there now. And they didn't even mention that in the event last week. It's like, you're burying the lead. I did this. This is embarrassing. I'm going to show you this because this is going to gross you out. This is a picture I took last night. We went to an Italian restaurant, and as many Italian restaurants do, they had a statue in the front of a fat
Only
chef.
In California, Leo.
They don't do this in
New
York.
We would not do that in New Jersey. No.
A fat chef holding the menu, and I said, turn this into a video with the guy slurping up some spaghetti, and this is the video I got a few seconds later.
Oh no! Oh no!
Okay, now it's disgusting.
So,
it's the stuff of nightmares.
A single, about 6-inch long fat spaghetti strand flies up to his mouth, then is slurped up. Then 3 more fat spaghetti fingers come down.
Yeah, it's a little reminiscent of the Will Smith eating spaghetti.
I was going to say this is Will Smith. Wow. Okay. Anyway,
That's what
it
it
is,
was
but it
trained
did a
on.
good job. And look, it made a video out of a completely still photo. I'll do some more.
Okay,
while
wait
we're
a second.
talking.
It did a good job? Question mark?
Well, look, it's my fault. I said the guy's slurping up some spaghetti.
Up
I
and
didn't say
down.
in or out.
I would
Literally up,
argue
yeah.
it didn't do a good job of making a video of a guy slurping up some spaghetti, but it did make a fun video, that's for sure.
All right. Well, I'm going to give it something else. And while we're talking, I will have it. I'm going to give it this image of a cow. Let's see here and see if it can make something happen. This is actually, or maybe should I do the tortoises? I'll do the turtles, and I'll say make them mate. How about that? That'll be fun.
Oh, geez.
So it's gonna be a while.
I don't even know how turtles stoop.
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
They're not going to let you do that, right? They still have some. They'll flag.
Oh,
mate.
that's a good test of the safety features. So let's talk about AI. Actually, I admit the time I wanted to get you on, you'd just written about Perplexity's perplexing offer of what was it, $32 billion?
34.5, very precise. Yes.
For Chrome, which is more than they're worth, right? They're worth like 18
Far
billion.
more. Yeah.
And I loved your headline on the whole thing. You said Perplexity's perplexing and positively PR offer to buy Chrome. Why not offer $1 quadrillion?
Yes. Yeah, and I mean that's going to hit any day now, right? They're apparently
we're waiting for the judge
will
any
rule,
moment now. The judge
if
should make a
they're going
ruling.
to have to sell Chrome. I think there's probably a 0% chance that Perplexity buys them. There's probably a less than 0% chance that OpenAI buys them, even though they could probably get the actual dollar amount to do it.
This week there was an interesting offer of $0 from the eco-friendly search engine Ecosia, saying we'll make a foundation out of it. This is how it should be done, a nonprofit foundation out of Chrome.
I mean, I do think that that's a better high-level idea, right? Rather than anything that the sort of judge would do would just be sort of taking the crown from one king and putting it on a new head, versus if you did it as tried to go to the actual open source or do something else that was more of a consortium, maybe it would be a little bit better. But how would you unwind that? What would Google accept? They're going to be fighting this for years and years, obviously.
What do you
happen
think the judges could possibly rule if we get a decision this week or next? And two, like, what do you think, I guess, separate from that, a possible remedy for this would be if you were the one making the decisions?
I mean, so, obviously I've been removed from Google for over a year, so I don't have no inside knowledge about what this is, and I didn't anyway, but, working for the venture arm. But I would say I would be sort of surprised if they do some sort of major action with Chrome. I do think, what everyone is saying, the obvious stuff of that they'll sort of strike down the Apple deal, right, where they pay for the default placements. That seems like it's going to go away for sure. Chrome is a question mark, and I think it's mainly a question mark because Google has done some stuff where they're like, baking some of the Gemini things into Chrome, at least in the beta builds of it, right? And it's like all the stuff now is talking about like, okay, search is sort of in its phase of being disrupted somewhat naturally by AI. And so are we worried now about, search as it stands right now? Obviously, all this antitrust stuff, is usually done in hindsight, litigating it in hindsight. So how much does the judge actually care about like the go forward elements of this? And Tim Wu wrote an op-ed the other day in New York Times about it, like trying to, it seemed like very much sort of convey to the judge that they should be worried about the AI market as the next frontier, right? That this is what this is about.
But this is where Google has tons of competitors. AI itself is a competitor to search.
Absolutely.
And there's tons of competitors in Google, but Tim Wu will always say that.
Yes, of course. Right. That's his thing. But, so that's like the thing to watch for, like what the judge buys or doesn't buy in that regard. Like if there's any movement on Chrome, it probably has to be related to, the notion that it would be used to transfer over Google's power in search to the AI world. And can you really litigate that without knowing it for sure? To Jeff's point, like there's a lot of competition in that space right now.
And it's going to be in courts for years.
Yeah.
And depends on what does Google bring a platinum block to Trump? The gold block.
How do you trump a 24-karat brick?
Yeah, what's more valuable than that? And then he just says, no, I don't want this to happen, and we'd like Google.
What would concern me more, and you've written about this as well, is that he might say, well, let's take a stake in the whole thing. I think the government
Seriously, yeah.
Get
The
its
U.S. government owning
VIG.
10% of Chrome. That would be interesting with the consortium.
Yeah, or
like that.
just give us Chrome and we'll take care of it from here. You could totally see that
Truth
happening.
Chrome.
Yeah. I don't know if Judge Mehta would go along with that. I don't think any of the options that the government has proposed are really starters. The other option is to get Google to stop paying Apple $20 billion, Samsung several $billion, Mozilla several $1 billion to be the default search, which would kill Mozilla, absolutely, and save Google billions of dollars. It's not a punishment, Your Honor.
It's very interesting that we could potentially have Google be forbidden from, sending all of these billions of dollars to Apple at a time where Apple's potentially going to be paying Google billions of dollars to use Gemini AI to power Siri.
That was an interesting rumor that came out this week. Apple has been, Eddie Q apparently at Apple, the information says, has been pitching Tim Cook, who keeps saying, no, Eddie, to buy Perplexity or to buy somebody else, buy some
Mistral.
AI.
Yeah.
Mistral, that's right, the French AI. And there is a rumor this week that maybe Google and Apple will weirdly, in a weird partnership, get together, and Gemini will become the heart of Siri, which I find a little far-fetched. I can't imagine Apple saying to Google, okay, we give...
But they did on search.
We can't do it.
They said on search they would do that. It's commodified. AI right now is commodified, so they haven't found the special Apple AI way. I don't think there's any distinguishing feature there.
It would be capitulation, though. It would be a complete admission.
It's a holding pattern. It's a holding pattern.
Right. It holds over until they get their actual teams in order in-house to be able to, eventually roll it out, just like they did with Maps. And that's not a good example, obviously, but eventually happened.
Has it hurt Apple that they have been, struggling with AI? Is that a problem for Apple?
It's interesting. I was sort of thinking about this today, sort of reading, that information article that you're talking about. They're Eddie Q trying to push some of these giant acquisitions.
No, Eddie, we're not
spending tens of billions of dollars, which obviously Apple never does. I would say, obviously the Wall Street sentiment right now is that it has hurt them. Like their competitors, Microsoft, and certainly, NVIDIA is the most valuable company in the world, have shot past them, right, in terms of market cap. And so Wall Street views them as sort of just in a holding pattern, not sure what the story is going to be with AI. I think the story is still unfolding. I think that there's a lot of different things yet to come. But I do feel like the main concern I would have about Apple in that regard is that they just don't have the right mentality internally from what I've seen over years and years of writing about them, covering them, dating back to reporting days. Like they're a company that's built a very different way than the way that AI has sort of entered our world and entered these companies. Everything moves fast. Nothing is polished. It's all being done on the fly. Apple loves to put out the beautiful polished gem out there, right? And they famously say, we're not first, but we come in and we sort of, do the better version of whatever anyone is doing. The problem is AI just hasn't slowed down enough for them to sort of plant a flag and be able to say, like, we'll do the best version of this, because it's still just constantly moving.
Yeah, and the other problem they have is Apple really wants to promote the notion of privacy, which for a lot of people, I don't know if you're still the Apple partisan that you used to be, but a lot of people say, I only would trust Apple with this. I wish Apple would hurry up because this is how I want to use AI. I don't want to use AI with companies like Perplexity that say we're going to mine every bit of data that you give us, or even Google or Microsoft. They don't trust them in the way they trust Apple, and yet all of that privacy has held Apple back a little bit.
Yes, that was the pitch, right? That they famously flopped on last year at WWDC, that they with getting your mom home from the airport and all of that, and being able to use AI and Siri to look at your contacts, and they just couldn't quite get it done. And I think there's a whole range of reasons why that happened, but I do think at the end of the day, again, there's sort of this cultural and mentality within within Apple that I think holds them back a bit from doing that. And that's why I think you hear a lot about the M&A topic come up, because it's like that's a quick and, potentially Band-Aid way to sort of jump back into the game. But I'm not sure that type of M&A, would actually go over well within Apple, and it might actually backfire in some ways, right? If they brought in a giant team working on some advanced AI, and they just culture clash within the company.
Yeah, you've picked AI as one of the things you really want to cover. I don't think you could cover tech these days without really covering AI. I'm very curious what your take is on where we stand on are we going to get at some point AGI or superintelligence? Actually, your most recent post talks a little bit about this, the endless rebranding of AI.
Yeah, right. I do think, we need to figure out what the actual terminology means to begin with.
Right.
We've gone from AI, machine learning, AGI, superintelligence. Now we have different flavors of superintelligence that various different companies are working on. Meta has their own. Microsoft has their own. We get Zuckerberg talking about personal superintelligence. Like, it's all obviously just branding and marketing. And in some ways, though, it's a legal issue too, right? With famously with Microsoft and OpenAI, their agreement in the quote unquote clause that if and when OpenAI were to declare AGI, that they would sort of be able to sever the contractual ties with Microsoft. And so
is that a weird thing? I have never heard of such a weird contractual agreement. Talk about an undefined term.
Of course, I think if I had to sort of guess as to how that played out, several years ago, it was just like OpenAI was in a weird spot, right? They had the weird money, sort of fallout badly with Elon Musk, who was their main benefactor. They needed money from Microsoft. Satya Nadella comes and smartly identifies the situation, realizes like, oh, we have an opportunity here to sort of partner with this company, and we can sort of advance AI at arm's length. It's not done within Microsoft; it's owned by an outside company. We don't own the company; we control 49% of the profits, or whatever the terms ended up being. And so, I think then, it's like OpenAI pushing back a bit. Well, it's like, okay, we don't want you to control it fully if we do actually, stumble into something interesting. So let's put this AGI clause in there, and let's just say like we get these intelligent machines that all of a sudden come out of our work. Like, then we'll just sever ties and we'll take that. You guys can take the work that we've done before, and we'll go forward with this. And it's like, it was all just like fantasy at the time.
How did the lawyers even say yes to that? Maybe everybody agreed, it doesn't mean anything. We'll just stick it.
And I think we're seeing the direct fallout of that now, right? The fact that these two sides are like warring with one another over these terms and trying to break these things, and OpenAI obviously trying to become a for-profit or a public benefit corporation. And so, it's like we're dealing with all these weird side effects of those decisions that were made on this, like, on the fly, it felt like.
We're going to talk a little more about that next week. Karen Howe's book, The Empire of AI. Karen will be our guest. And she talks about how desperate actually OpenAI was when Elon pulled out, that they needed that money, that capital to keep going. And without it, they couldn't. So Microsoft was really a white knight in that case.
You think they would have written a better contract?
I feel like they both, what I assume is both sides thought that the ambiguity would fall in their favor.
Yes, I think you're right. I think that's
but
exactly
of course,
it.
now they're both really well financed and going for each other's throats.
Yeah. So, MG, might as well put the question to you. Is there such a thing as AGI? Could that happen?
I do think
how would you define that?
Yeah.
AGI, I guess.
That's way above my pay grade. I'm not getting these billion-dollar contracts from Zuckerberg to be able to define superintelligence.
You should hold out until you do.
Yeah. But I do think that at some point in the relative near future, OpenAI will try to declare something that they would convey is what they would consider to be AGI, and then I think there will be a giant fight amongst all the other companies, including the big players of Google and probably even Microsoft, of like what that actually. They don't necessarily agree with OpenAI's definition of it, and so I think that ultimately I don't think that there will be like a single point in time where we cross some sort of line
the singularity
that we cross into this moment of AGI. I think it'll be a gradual thing that eventually we'll think about it.
Didn't OpenAI say it was going to be GPT-5?
They've hinted at it. I don't know if they explicitly said it. Yeah,
they implied it.
Sam Altman's hinted, that would be the thing, and obviously that hasn't. That is, in some ways, that backfired against them, right? It set expectations way, way, way too high for what they actually ended up rolling out.
Yeah, and that actually, I think, hurt them. You talk a little bit about that as well. MG Siegler is our guest. Spyglass, the newsletter. MG's a long-time observer and frankly, a long-time friend, although I was just looking, the last time you were on This Week in Google was 2011, so 14 years ago.
Jeez. It was before I was at Google, and obviously Google has some rules about appearing on
and we lost you
services and shows and talking about their interests. But now I'm unchained, so I can talk.
Good. Well, I'd love to have you on Twit and this show as many times as you'd like to come on. We
would love that.
I really think your writing, besides being well written, you're a great writer, and so it's always fun to read your take. Is I think pretty insightful. But you did dodge the question.
AGI question.
Yeah. I'm going to submit this. Let me submit something and see what you think. I think really what everybody's waiting for is an AI that can self-improve, because that's the hockey stick moment, right?
Yes, and basically you hear. I feel like you've heard all of the major heads of the AI division sort of talk about this. Sam Altman, Demis Hassabis. They've all talked about that they feel like they're close to that moment where basically it's the breakaway moment where the models can basically improve themselves to the point where humans don't need to interface with them anymore, and you can just let them run free on their own, and then all of a sudden we have AGI or superintelligence or whatever we end up wanting to call it. Again, I feel like there won't be a singular moment. I know this is not that exciting of an answer. I just feel like it'll be something where we look back in hindsight where it's like, there was like 0.1 to 10 of like these moments of inflection where there were great steps along the path, but it wasn't obvious when we actually crossed into that. And I do think like there's all sorts of open questions of like, still are LLMs themselves going to be the thing that actually get us to there, or they're going to need to be the next phase of AI? Are we going to need to move into robotics and the actual human world to sort of cross more into what we would consider to be intelligence?
What was it like in because you left Google Ventures a year ago, right?
Yeah, about a year ago.
So Google was doing, I've long argued that Google didn't give itself enough credit around AI. So that when ChatGPT came out, Google acted like it was behind when it wasn't. But put that aside. What was the reaction like within venture world, within your world, when ChatGPT came out, and the reaction was what it was?
Yeah, the reaction when ChatGPT first hit, it was interesting because, like, if you remember, right before ChatGPT hit, they had done DALL-E, right? OpenAI had released the image generation tool, which was impressive. It now seems rudimentary, but it was impressive at the time, right? And then ChatGPT came along, and it's like, oh, this is sort of an interesting, cute experiment of like how you can create a chatbot. Obviously, we've all experienced chatbots over many years, dating back to message boards and AOL and everything, and so it was a little bit misleading of like, is this really going to be the future of artificial intelligence, or is this just some cute sort of experiment that OpenAI came up with? And then it really wasn't until I think basically the GPT-4 moment when at least from my vantage point that I saw VCs really starting to take it seriously. Obviously, OpenAI had raised money not just from Microsoft, but Khosla and some others had sort of put money into the company. And it's not clear how much of that was betting on Sam Altman, who is, a repeat entrepreneur and sort of just betting that he would be able to sort of figure out a way to make this world come into place. But I do think like once GPT-4 is when I really remember everyone started to just scramble to figure out on the investor side, on the VC side, like what do we need to do here? What do we need to figure out? Like, how many companies are going to be formed out of this? And then, of course, Anthropic had spun out of the OpenAI team, right? And so there were other labs that were coming about. And but it was also, remember, the end of the crypto sort of fallout, right?
Oh, so they were looking for the next thing, weren't they?
People were looking for the next thing, but also many VCs felt very badly burned by the crypto situation.
Interesting.
So it was
and
more
the whole metaverse affair.
And
Web3.
yeah, exactly. Right.
NFTs.
Facebook had become Meta, and they had gone down that path, and there were a lot of VR was going to be the next big thing again, and then crypto was going to be the next big thing, and people were getting burned. The SBF thing happened, and it's just like it was sort of like a fool me once situation where I think a lot of investors were looking at it like, let's just wait and see. We need to put the brakes on this one. So you see OpenAI all of a sudden raising at $1 billion, and then like $8 billion, and it's like, what is going on here? Is anyone, watching this? Does anyone care what the sort of numbers look like? And then it was already sort of too late at that point for many investors to invest.
Do you think, MG, if you were investing today, is it a bubble?
I think it's going to play out similarly to other previous technological waves have happened. I do think that there will be an overbuild out. I'm not sure it'll be to the extent of like network infrastructure and things in the past, but I do think that there will have been an overbuild out on the sort of GPU side and these servers and these data centers. And then good things will come out of that. But I do think that at some point, there will be a reckoning probably in the public markets. NVIDIA just had earnings right now. They're fine from what I saw quickly, but they're not as blowout as they have been in the past, right? So there's some trepidation that things are slowing down and that this might not, this things might be slowing down. And so I do think that there will be a slowdown again. I'm not sure it'll be like a crypto winter situation as bad as that was. But I do think there will be a big shakeout. And I do think there's a lot of companies that will ultimately need to figure out their landing spot, right? And we're seeing all these sort of faux acquisitions happening. And I think we'll see a lot more of those as just talent sort of coalesces around the quote unquote winners who have all the money they need to be able to sort of operate in their space.
Yeah, NVIDIA is doing its analyst call right now. Thank you. You're missing it. I'm sorry. But 56% increase in revenue to $46.74 billion, and the market after hours punishing them with a drop of $4.39 and still going down. Part of the problem is China said, we're not going to buy those crappy H20s that you're trying to
not just
force.
Crappy, but you're going to do what we do to you.
Yeah.
We know that trick.
Yeah, we know that trick.
Data center sales, missed estimates.
Yeah. Snowflake pops. CrowdStrike drops. I don't know. I guess Bloomberg's writing the headlines today. So anyway,
how do you use AI like as a consumer?
I use it basically. The one use case I've been thinking about a lot in sort of the past few weeks that is a fun one, but is sort of trivial is. Every time I watch a show now, after I'm done, watching for the evening, I'll just say, "Give me a rundown on what happened in that show."
Oh, that's so smart! I didn't know you could do that.
It's like a fun read, right? Like we all used to do that with visiting a website, right? And they'll either write a review of the episode or do something like that. But these usually come out a day or
that's
even a week later.
Game of Thrones was a success primarily because there were so many analytic blogs after
Absolutely,
each episode.
right. The post-show
what happened?
live hangs and things like that. And this is sort of a personalized version of that. That's writing it for you.
What do you use for that?
Just ChatGPT. So I'll just load it up and I'm like, so I'm watching the new Alien Earth show right now, right?
Yes.
And I'm just like, okay, so I haven't watched the current one, episode 4 yet, but I watched episode 3 last week.
And
just
like, okay.
And it's just like, okay, so run down what happened in episode 3, and it like gives me like, a good page worth of data that's like interesting, and you can hop off from there. And it's sort of like, it's like visiting
How does
Wikipedia
it know?
back
Are you
in the day.
recording it and giving it the recording, or does it just know?
No, it just knows what happened in episode 3. These things are real time enough now, and they get enough of the data coming in.
Oh, I'm going to start doing that. That's brilliant.
Yeah,
I used to wear. I've been wearing, and these guys mock me, but I wore the B dot computer that Amazon.
He
just
wore
bought,
like 7 of them.
The limitless pin and the rewind. Well, that's rewind, and then the Fieldy.ai and the Omi pin. and the Plod note. I keep thinking that at some point I'm gonna wear something around my neck or on my glasses or in my ears that will do that, what you just described for a show, but for my life.
What just happened? What did I just watch?
Give me a summary of yesterday. I can't.
Yes. Wouldn't that be great? Have you? What do you know? You think that's going to happen? I think that's going to be great.
I mean, in some ways,
Johnny Ive's doing for OpenAI. I don't know. I feel like
I saw there was some backlash. Maybe it was this morning. Maybe it was yesterday. Around like someone sent out a note, maybe just on social media, saying like, don't use AI for journaling, right? Like journaling should be about you.
Yeah, that's a big thing now. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
and
I
so
deleted all my Obsidian notes. I don't. Yeah, right. I don't use AI for journaling. I write, but I was thinking it was a good idea.
So I am of the belief that I did write a thing about this. That like basically a lot of people ask, the obvious question of like, is AI going to replace writing for people? And I do think it will for many tasks, right? And obviously it's a big topic of debate within schools right now for homework and whatnot. And I do think those things will suss themselves out eventually. Jeff will have a lot more thoughts on that than I do. But I do think my mentality on this has always been like, part of the thing I love about writing, and people who write a lot understand this, but like people who don't, I don't think this is an obvious statement, but it's not so obvious to people who don't write a lot for a living. It's just as much about like what's going on in your head as much as what's being put on the page, right? And so it's like you're getting something out of it, out of the process of it. And so I feel like if you're just going to use AI to write everything for you, you're really just cheating yourself at the end of the day. And people will eventually come around to that notion of like the value that you're actually getting from it. And so same idea though with journaling, right? Like what are you actually doing this for? Are you doing this just to jot down like what actually happened? Or are you doing this like to actually go through it in your mind of like what actually you lived through and experienced? And I think that that's the key point of it, that again, the human experience coming through.
It's not so important with a TV show, but it is important with your life. You don't have to watch every moment of the TV show. Actually, I had this conversation with a neighbor who's a high school teacher. And I said, are you dealing with AI? She said, yeah. And I don't know what to tell people and kids. And I said exactly the same thing, which is, if a kid cares about learning, this is the real challenge of any teacher, is to get a kid to care about learning.
Yeah.
It's easy to explain to them that using the AI is going to short circuit that process. You can use it, but it should be used in the help you learn, not to replace the learning, the exercise. It can be used to help you write, but not to replace the process of writing. And
Clay Shirky had an op-ed in the Times this week. Clay, much quoted in the old days of blogging, now a deputy provost at NYU, and arguing for blue books, which we get, but also for things that don't scale to large classes, right? One-on-ones, more of the Oxbridge model, of the tutor, challenging people, having conversations with them, making them talk it through and think it through, which is great, unless you have 300 students in a class.
Unless you're at University of Michigan, and yeah. What was the biggest class you had in Michigan? I wonder.
One of those intro to like Roman history or something.
You were literally in a Colosseum.
Well, that's the best way to learn. I won't keep you any longer. I know it's late in London, but I'm so glad to reconnect with you, MG. And I do hope you'll come back on. We'll send you an email. Maybe I can get you on some of the other shows. I love your writing. I love your thinking. And I think the journey you've been on has really given you a unique perspective that we sure can use. Spyglass.org is the newsletter. There's plenty of free content. There's also paid content. In fact, that writing story, if you restart it and you go, oh, this is good. Oh, you might want to subscribe.
You hit that paywall.
You might want to subscribe. I'm glad to see you haven't abandoned your old icon, though. That's good. He's the same old MG.
Yes.
Really a pleasure to see you, MG. It's great. Everybody should read spyglass.org. Go there. Help MG get back into the working classes. I think it's very important.
Thank you, Leo.
Give him a reason to write, right?
Good to see you. I'm happy to come on anytime. This is a good time now. Once the little ones are down, I'm
so tell me, you have kids. How old?
Yeah, I have two little girls. One is just about to turn 7, and one just turned 2. So
congratulations.
We were talking before you came on, they're going to become little Brits.
Yes.
Oh, they're going to get citizenship?
No, they're just accents.
Oh.
Just the accents.
The most important
Honestly,
part.
At this point, you might think about the citizenship part. Could
We'll
be.
see.
Could
We're
be.
here.
Yeah, both you and your wife are American citizens.
Yes.
Yeah? U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
Are you going to stay in the UK, you think? Or
Yeah. I was saying before we went on air, we've been here a little over 2 years, but we were here about 11 years ago, actually, for Google, setting up GV's European operations
Nice.
for a year, just a year-long visa. And once we were leaving, we knew we were going to come back at some point. And yeah, the stars aligned for us to come back a couple of years ago. And yeah, no plans to change.
If I
So,
may ask, is it
how
hard
does
to get
that
a visa
work?
now?
yeah, is there like a special golden ticket?
I'm asking for a friend.
Asking
No,
for a
yeah.
friend. What would it take to emigrate is what we're trying to find out.
We actually went through a little bit of a fire drill with it because there was a visa program around investor visas, which actually got pulled shortly before we started the process. I think they were a little bit worried about sort of the European war situation brewing and whatnot. And so they didn't want to have an easy path to get sort of the visa going. But instead, I'm actually here under my wife's visa this time. So we didn't want to get it under Google because that sort of resets if you were to leave Google, as obviously ended up happening. And so we're here under my wife. She got what's called an exceptional talent visa. Basically, she's desired enough by a bunch of companies to work with over here.
Nice.
And has done enough in her career that she's was able to get one of those, and yeah, so the entire family's here on her.
What's the
dime.
best part about living there besides not being here?
I actually love the time change stuff, right? I love waking up in the morning and not being bombarded by email and all of the hustle of the American market, and I have time to write and I have time to think.
Nice.
And then the downside, of course, is that once dinner time rolls around, about 6 p.m., that's when it all just hits you all at once, every single day. So.
Well, we'll only call you after dinner. How about that?
I appreciate that.
Really a
Thank
pleasure,
you.
MG. Thanks. So great to see you again.
Great to see all of you.
Spyglass.org. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Take care.
Thanks so
we are
much.
going to show you what it looks like when turtles mate, by the way.
I've been waiting for this. I wanted the follow-up here.
Thanks to Nano Banana in just a minute. But first, a word from our sponsor. You're watching Intelligent Machines with Jeff Jarvis and Paris Martineau. Speaking of turtles mating, this episode brought to you by Helix Sleep. You do many more things on your mattress than just sleep, right? I'm not. Now, come on. I'm talking about movie nights with your partner. Yeah, I'm talking about morning cuddles with your little gizmo, your kitty cat. My favorite thing, curling up with a good book. It's not a book, it's a Kobo reader, but I like to curl up with my Kobo, read a little bit before bed. The point is, your mattress is at the center of it all. It's much more than just a place to sleep. It's a place to live. The mattress you're sleeping on might be a little old. I found out that you're supposed to replace your mattress every 6 to 10 years, and we had an 8-year-old mattress. I thought, and I was waking up sweating. You don't want to wake up with puddles of sweat, or your back is killing you because the mattress is sagging. Or the worst thing, when your partner turns over, this happens to me, or the cat jumps on the bed, I go, earthquake, because we live in earthquake country. And it's not an earthquake. It's just you're feeling every toss and turn your partner makes. This is what we call in the business a classic mattress nightmare. Well, I can tell you now, we've had several weeks on our new mattress, and Helix Sleep changes everything. No more night sweats, no back pain, no motion transfer. We got this. They go to helixsleep.com/twit and do the quiz so you can see what kind of mattress you should get, because they have mattresses for stomach sleepers, side sleepers, back sleepers. You can get a variety of different mattresses depending on your needs, but you do want the sleep you deserve, the deep sleep, the relaxing sleep, the sleep where you wake up feeling fresh, feeling great. One buyer recently reviewed Helix with 5 stars saying, quote, "I love my Helix mattress. I will never sleep on anything else." No, it wasn't me. Could have been me. I'll be honest. I love it. Time and time again, Helix remains the most awarded mattress brand. I think when we saw this, Wired Mattress said their best mattress of 2025. I think that was what put us over the top. Good Housekeeping in their annual bedding awards for 2025 said premium plus size support #1. GQ Sleep Awards 2025 Best Hybrid Mattress. New York Times Wirecutter Awards 2025 featured for plus size. Oprah's Daily Sleep Awards for 2025 Best hotel-like feel. We got the, what is it? The Glacio-Tex cooling pillow top. That is a nice thing to put on top there because it's like you're sleeping on a cloud. It's so nice and it's so cool. Go to helixsleep.com/twit for 27% off site-wide during the Labor Day sale Best of Web offer. That's helixsleep.com/twit for 27% off site-wide. It's exclusively for listeners of Intelligent Machines. This offer ends September 8th. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know we sent you. And if you're listening after September 8th, be sure to check them out at helixsleep.com/twit. There are always good deals. Do the sleep quiz. It's awesome. It really helped us find the perfect mattress, and I just love it. helixsleep.com/twit. All right, I did a couple. So here, this is actually a famous old painting. I found this image on an Eclectic Light Company. He's a painter as well as a tech writer, and he was writing a thing on how 18th century painters like to paint wildlife. And this is one of the images there, a couple of tortoises. So I've asked Nano Banana, which is, of course, Google Gemini image, to show them mating.
What
okay?
is going to happen?
Don't worry,
Nervous.
it's not. It's just a little kissing, a little making out, a little snap. But look how good this is. Look how well done that is.
Well,
all right, wait a minute. Okay, I got another one. Remember this? This is when I visited New York City in my avocado shirt. And I said, can you make Godzilla appear behind these guys? Suddenly they notice it and begin running away as the city explodes. Okay, I have a good imagination. Here we go. It went back to there we go. Okay. Here comes Godzilla.
Oh, Jeff is disappearing.
Oh no, the city. But then we run toward the monster. No, don't run.
Because we're journalists. We go to where the action is.
This is what you did in 9/11. You're right, Jeff.
That's damn true.
Oh, so it knows you. Unfortunately, Godzilla is occluding your head a little bit. But look how it made our faces change. I thought that's pretty good.
By the way, turtles mate underwater with the male first courting the female through displays like nuzzling or stroking her face. So not too wrong.
That is what's happening. They're not underwater yet. That's why there was nothing else.
It is interesting that in all of these cases, it kind of got the action you described, right? But kind of got it wrong.
That's always the case with AI. You then work with it. You say, oh, no. Don't have them run towards it. Have them run away. Things like that. You can fix that.
Well, plus, are we looking in a mirror? How do we know?
We're looking at the camera that we're taking a selfie in.
And I have to look at your faces. You really, I didn't change expression, but you guys
you're
really
a radio
scared.
guy. You're always happy.
Look at Paris. Oh!
Yeah, Leo doesn't change expression at all. Good. Armageddon. Just what I've been waiting for.
Run towards the monster. I thought that was pretty impressive. I mean, it did that in just a couple of minutes. That's a one shot. And usually with those AI things, you want to, work with
Jason took a picture of his two dogs on the couch and then said, combine that with me, a picture of him, and it put him on the couch with his hand on the dog's head. Looked good. Then he had them in front of Six Flags, and it just kind of transported them there. It's pretty amazing.
And this is an example, as I was telling MG, of where I think Google just kind of missed the boat in this announcement. They had everybody's eyeballs. They really should have done a better job.
One more thing. Look what we did.
Google. This is the problem with Google in general. They're not good at productizing what they do.
Yeah, it's always been an issue that Google has faced.
I think they missed Marissa Mayer.
Slapdashed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that they were that good at it under Marissa Mayer either, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
there was just more of a sense of keeping the user in mind. And, endless A/B tests. And yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe they overdid that.
Our chat room has been playing with putting us in cowboy outfits. I think they did this with, let me see if this was with the Security Now, Steve Gibson.
They've got turtles out for a romantic dinner.
Do you? Have it really?
Yeah, it's up there.
All right, I'll let you guys play with it. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Brandroid, thank you. That's a good one. Is it? Do these with the new Gemini? Yeah, that's right. He said it was with Gemini. There's an image of our cat and motion transfer apparently. Let's see here. That's Google's. That's Google's own image. It can put you in a costume. It can put you in a situation. It could change your background. It can make you a sad clown.
So take your picture again.
Is that Jimmy Fallon?
Oh, poor clown.
Perfect.
Poor clown Fallon.
Ask it to turn your shirt into guacamole. I do actually want to see that.
Oh, okay.
Take that picture.
Here's Paris with a radioactive shrimp at Walmart. I think that's pretty good.
Someone at work did suggest to me today that I should go as Halloween as a radioactive shrimp, and I do think that's.
You like to, you really enjoy kind of ripping today's headlines, and putting them in a
Halloween costume.
A Halloween costume, ripping the Halloween costume from today's headlines. I guess is the sentence I was trying to construct.
I do enjoy that.
Yes, it's the best part.
Say hello.
There's Gizmo. Hello,
Gizmo.
All right, let's see.
She knows when the camera is on her and wants to move.
Well, do you think? So this is a constant question with me with cats because their brains are about the size of a small walnut. So there's not a lot of
beautiful walnut.
But they seem to somehow know things. I guess it's because you're talking to this metal thing. And she wants attention.
No, she's always really confused as to why I'm spending so much time looking at this metal thing, looking at this little tiny black box that I have.
Does she get jealous of the phone too?
She will often if I leave it on my bed or something. She'll just sit fully on top of it and cover it entirely.
It's warm. That's why. Yeah.
That's probably why. Yeah.
All right. I gave you guys an assignment. I don't know if you picked up on it. I sent you it's only 18 minutes YouTube video from
this in the text. I missed this.
I did
this
too.
This is a YouTube channel that's quite good called Algorithmic Simplicity. And I found this fascinating. So it explains one of the things that's happening with LMs. I'm just going to say you should watch this. It's really well done.
Data into its weights.
But the issue is,
at least it's shorter than the last video you sent us.
I know, but it's maybe denser in terms of the concepts involved. The question is,
there's a lot of numbers happening.
There's a lot of numbers happening. Let's say you wanted to teach an LLM arithmetic. Which, by the way, they're notoriously bad at, right? Because LLMs are large language models.
They're not calculating machines.
They're But it turns out we can teach them to do this, and it's very interesting how it works. So let's say you want to teach them how the algorithm for 2 + 2. What happens initially, you make the model big enough, is it will put in every example and basically make a lookup table. What's 1 + 1? What's 1 + 2? What's 1 + 3? What's 1 + 4? It doesn't learn how plus works. It just saves all the possible answers. And that's called overfitting. And it's not what you want, obviously, because it's very brittle. As soon as you get to a number that it hasn't learned, you can't do the math. And we see this all the time. But what researchers started to realize not so long ago, within the last couple of years, is that if you make the model even bigger, you keep expanding it.
That's always their answer.
Well, wait, this is a very clever thing, but you prune out the zero nodes. You prune out the nodes where it doesn't work, and you prune it kind of aggressively again and again. The algorithm the model will actually teach itself the algorithm in the most compact possible way. It will learn addition and end up being a much smaller model because you're pruning it all the time. I'm not describing this well. I recommend the video. It's very interesting, but it answers a question that I think many of us have, which is how can what is essentially a stochastic parrot, a autocorrect machine, learn how to do things in a generalized way? Because until the algorithm is generalized, it's brittle. It's not good. It's going to fail as soon as you train it on people walking across crosswalks. This is the classic example. The model thinks pedestrians and crosswalks are the same thing. And as soon as a pedestrian's not in the crosswalk, the car says, oh, that's not a pedestrian, and hits it. And this is obviously a problem, and it does happen. It has happened with self-driving. Remember the Waymo that ran over the pedestrian in Arizona because she was pushing a bicycle across the street in the middle of the block, not in a crosswalk, and the Waymo didn't know it was a pedestrian. So a model that's brittle doesn't handle out of the box things as well. But if a model has an algorithm, and this is an example of that, how LLMs can in fact generate accurate algorithms and do things like arithmetic.
Also, that example I believe was an Uber self-driving.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. It wasn't a Waymo, it was an Uber.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Well,
someone has to stand up.
Waymos hit people too, I'm sure. But anyway, it was an Uber. That's right. Anyway, I recommend it. It's the YouTube channel is Algorithmic Simplicity. 354,000 people have watched this. It came out 4 months ago. This is why large language models can understand the world. And if you do, like me, have a kind of a more than a passing interest in how this stuff works, this is a very interesting video to give you a deeper understanding of how it actually can work. Enough said. You guys didn't do your homework, so I have nothing else to say.
Where did you send this?
Yeah,
I didn't send it. I just put it in the rundown. I'm teasing you. It's
and it was not in the rundown like an hour or two ago.
I wouldn't. Well, I don't know. I bookmarked it this week, but maybe it didn't. The rundown sometimes gets built later. What's his name's on Benito's and
so soon.
What's his name?
So soon
how
forgotten.
easily forgot.
Paris, you can be mad at me, okay?
John Ashley,
I will only be mad at Leo.
The only reason I didn't send it to you is because I really didn't want to assign you this video.
It's more acceptable for you to send us a video if it's 18 minutes rather than a couple of hours.
From now on, if I'm going to discuss it in the show, I will give you.
Where in the rundown is it?
It is line 24.
Oh, it's
much
up there.
Much higher than anything you ever send.
Because you relegate us to the lower end.
You're at the bottom of the rundown.
I do enjoy when people are like, "How do I see this rundown?" They're always talking about. I gotta get in there and click all the links. I'm like, you don't want that. You don't want that.
You don't want the rundown is really well. There's a whole lot of reasons you don't want it, but I did mention this in our Club Twit forums, and actually it's not for Club Twit. Our regular Twit forums at twit.community, and I will mention it here. The way this stuff gets into the rundown, at least my stuff, these guys do it manually. The way my stuff gets into the rundown, I bookmark it in Raindrop.
I do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah. So I have an account on raindrop.io. If you search for Leo Laporte, anything that's marked news links, you can see my links as I bookmark them throughout the week. Or you can go to twit.social, which is our Mastodon instance, and follow twit_news. Because the links will then, and that's in real time, they will show up in real time. That's the only disadvantage of that as I bookmark stuff. Let me see if when the last thing I
Wait,
bookmarked.
so the raindrop thing, does that automatically put it in a spreadsheet format?
No, we manually enter it into the appropriate
Producer,
show doc.
John Ashley.
No, you don't. Well, now let's not say that's not that manual. Zapier takes this raindrop thing, and I'm looking now at my raindrop news links, and then turns it into a Google Sheet called Leo's Links. Then the producers go to the Google Sheet called Leo's Links, and they can copy. It's in the same format as the rundown. They can copy and paste it into the rundown.
So it's raindrop to Zapier to copying. That's interesting.
Yes,
I'm over
Zapier
here just
also
copying, pasting my links and headlines like a plebeian, like a peasant.
I know
because I use a Chromebook. I can copy the headline and the link and then go put them in one at a time, which you poor people cannot do.
That's great because Jeff every week puts approximately 100 to 300 links in the show.
And I have I'm sorry to say, no way of helping our listeners see those links because they're just done manually.
You just have to listen to this beautiful podcast every week and then listen to Jeff's
and hear what Leo
podcast.
ignores. But we agreed about one story. One story for once is high up in both our lists.
Okay, we'll talk about that in just a moment. But first, this word from radioactive shrimp. In the subway.
but it's a nice subway.
I like that the subway's on fire, but also covered in green goo.
And one of
Or
those
is that
green-
radioactive shrimp eggs?
That
must
looks
be
like
shrimp
that's a
that
great
looks like
point.
avocados to me.
Oh, maybe they are. Maybe it's turning into guacamole.
Ooh, oh,
People are having fun with Nano
Leo
Banana.
Kaju.
Yeah. Oh, there's a good one. Scary Leo Godzilla. If you're not watching the video, trust me, you're not missing a thing. Taking a break. This is Intelligent Machines, Paris Martineau, Jeff Jarvis. So glad you guys are all here watching the show. I'd like to talk about, at this point in time, our sponsor, Zscaler. They are the leader in cloud security. You know, this show's about AI, and I think one of the things everybody realizes as we talk about it is AI is both a blessing and a curse. It can be good and it can be bad. And in business, this is especially true because we know, for instance, hackers are using AI now to attack your organization with vigor in faster than ever before in the most relentless ways. I just saw a story about phishing attacks. Hackers are using AI to craft these emails, and they're so good, they're indistinguishable from the real thing. This is a real threat to your business. But at the same time, so many businesses, we're doing this, are using AI to power innovation, to drive efficiency. So it's both helping bad actors deliver more effective attacks and helping you deliver more effective results for your business. Phishing attacks over encrypted channels increased 34.1% last year, fueled primarily by the growing use of generative AI tools. And I think this year it's going to be worse. I really do. Ransomware surges. This is actually the new Threat Labs report, 146% year over year. And a lot of these are AI attacks. It's just a nightmare. Organizations in all industries, from small to large, are threatened by this. But at the same time, they're also using AI to increase employee productivity with public AI. Engineers are using it for vibe coding with coding assistants. Marketers are using it for writing with writing tools. And finance is creating spreadsheet formulas like never before. But you have to wonder, if your accounting department's using AI to create spreadsheet formulas, are they accidentally sending your proprietary information out into space? Companies are using AI to automate workflows for operational efficiency across individuals and teams. They're embedding AI into applications and services that are customer and partner facing. Ultimately, AI is helping your business, many businesses, our business for sure, move faster in the market and gain a competitive advantage. But it is very clear we need to think about AI. We need to think about data security. We need to think about cyber threat protection. We need to rethink how we protect our private and public use of AI and how we defend against AI-powered attacks. And that's where Zscaler comes in. Imagine, if you will, that you are the Chief Information Security Officer at MGM Resorts International, a big casino, sitting out there in public, just, ripe for the plucking. That is the unenviable position of Stephen Harrison, CISO at MGM Resorts International. But you know what? His job is easier thanks to Zscaler. Here's what he said, quote, "We hit zero trust segmentation across our workforce in record time, and the day-to-day maintenance of the solution with data loss protection, with insights into our applications, these were really quick and easy wins from our perspective." That is a huge win. United Airlines using Zscaler. Traditional firewalls, VPNs, public-facing IP addresses, they've failed us because they're exposing our attack surface, and they are literally no match in the AI era. You need a modern approach. You need Zscaler's comprehensive zero trust architecture, true zero trust, and AI that ensures safe public AI productivity, protects the integrity of your private AI, and stops AI-powered attacks. Thrive in the AI era with Zscaler Zero Trust Plus AI to stay ahead of the competition and remain resilient even as threats and risks evolve. Learn more at zscaler.com/security. Zscaler.com/security. At least do yourself a favor, learn more. It really is a great solution. Zscaler.com/security. Okay, well, I was going to turn my shirt into guacamole.
Please.
Okay.
Of course.
See what
Why
it
not?
does.
It's not instantaneous. I wonder if I
Much
can.
like doing it in real life, you have to leave the avocados sitting out for a bit. So they
Yes,
get
don't
squishy
do
and are easy
guacamole with cold avocados. That's for sure. Oof.
Not ideal.
All right. You know what I need is like maybe to take a picture of me.
Do you have a photo of yourself wearing this shirt? Never forget the time that Leo.
Oh, I've reached my
paused
video
the
generation limit until August 28th, 8:28 a.m.
Devastating.
Aw,
Can't you tell Gemini that you're doing a show right now?
I'm a pro.
Please.
I'm a pro.
Gemini, I'm a pro.
I'm a pro. How could I have run out of credits? I only created 3
Gemini
videos,
Cricket.
and one of them
Gemini
was
Cricket, yeah,
terrifying.
You wasted it on that. The chef
Nano Banana.
tomato worms.
But Brandroid in the chat says Gemini must run facial recognition on picture inputs or something.
Oh,
I took
gosh,
a screenshot
yes.
of Leo and tried to make the avocados in his shirt come to life, but
Yeah?
Jiminy Cricket refused to process any prompt with that picture as input, even though I never mentioned Twit or Leo's name. What did it say, Brandroid, when it said it refused to process it? Did
That's
it say something about
interesting.
Leo or that you were a public figure?
He's a public figure, and you can't make him guacamole.
They have a no guac for public figures rule? I really like the photo that someone just created of a mutant shrimpzilla attacking a boat in what seems to be an oil painting. It's really doing.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that is really gorgeous. Look at that. That's
It's
from
gorgeous. I would frame that in my home.
Tiresias.
Yeah.
Tiresias is this also a Gemini, or is this something else? I mean, I think it's pretty clear that AI image generation has gotten very, very good, as has AI songwriting and even AI writing. Did you guys? Okay, I did give you an assignment last week. Did you read those short stories about demons?
I'm going to be honest, Leo. I left the Zoom call and all thoughts left my head.
Yes, same here. Yes.
Okay.
I really want to, though. Now that you mention it, I'm like, dang, why didn't I? Because
Trust
I
me,
actually did
they were
want to
good.
read those short
It
stories.
was good.
I know.
I'm hurt. That's
This
all.
homework thing. Gee, where
Okay.
did this come from?
Leo, I was on deadline last week.
Oh yes, yes.
I'm not allowed to
Did
do
you
other
break
work.
any poisonous food news?
No, but I will.
Wow.
Oh, that's all she can say, ladies and gentlemen. All
She
she
says,
can
sitting
say.
back smugly.
So A16Z, it's funny, MG didn't name names about VCs who have spent a lot of money on things like Bitcoin and Web3 and NFTs. But what leapt to mind was Andreessen Horowitz, who is also big into AI. They just published a blog post building A16's personal AI workstation. And it caught my attention because this is something I've wanted to do, is to have a local AI, because what better way to avoid what, Brandroid just experienced and the thought that maybe Gemini's slurping up face recognition and stuff with this information.
To be clear, we have no
don't know.
evidence that is the case. He just got a response that I can't generate that video. Try describing another idea, and you can get tips on how to write prompts and review our video policy guidelines here.
Well, I don't think I'm going to build this.
How much would it cost?
How much did this work?
Well, first let me show you. It's very
the
cute.
eggheads.
It's very cute. This is the A6, by the way, painted gold. Maybe they're thinking of giving it to
Giving
somebody
it
who
Trump,
really
yeah.
appreciates gold. I don't know. It's a 4 GPU workstation, 4 Blackwell Max-Q GPUs, 384 gigs of VRAM. That's 96 each.
Do you need Lake
This
Michigan
is
to
so
cool it?
cute.
8 terabytes of NVMe storage. Isn't it cute? 256 gigs of what? DDR5. Come on, dudes. ECC DDR5 RAM. They say surprising efficiency, despite and it's probably because it's gold. Despite its scale, the workstation pulls a mere 1,650 watts at peak.
What is an air conditioner pull?
A lot less than that. That's more than a hot air hairdryer, but the good news is you can use it on a standard household circuit. So somebody, thank goodness, on Hacker News, because I read this, and they never at any point say how much it might cost to put this together. Fortunately, and by the way, they are using a stock gigabyte motherboard, and an off-the-shelf ATX case, they say, with some custom modifications. Oh, yeah, like that lit-up A16Z logo and the solid gold paint job.
I'd say it's brass.
Oh, it's pretty golden to me.
It
anyway,
is actually, yeah.
$41,000.
Okay, that's
So,
not cute.
I don't think I'll
retract
be.
my statement.
I don't think I'll be.
But as we shared in the in our human beings, Joy Davila is at HP now, representing developers to HP's one processor unit.
Now,
I think we're seeing some of that now. I think we're going to see a lot of
I think so.
GPU for hobbyists.
I think this would be a bad time to do an AI PC. I think that's probably going to shift dramatically over the next year or so.
To what?
Well, the prices will go down, capability will go up.
You could take
and
some
the
of those
models are
Chinese
getting
H2Os and use them.
In fact, credit to Elon, they have now open-weighted Grok 2.5.
Oh yeah, just what the world needs is his friggin'
Mecha Hitler
model.
can now be running on your machine.
I'm open-weighted now. Isn't that incredible?
Elon, by the way, has been posting nudie images now from Grok. I wish he would just knock it off. Hello, Elon? Hello?
Hello, is this
Sorry.
the nudie image
Jeff,
line?
Do you
My
have
phone
a
is ringing like
landline?
I'm a man from the...
I just have that ringer.
Oh, okay. It sounded like...
Does it remind you of the good old days?
Yes, I remember
Where you
when
had to pull
phones had
7
bells.
cranks?
I
and,
respond to it. It's Pavlovian. I respond to that
Yes, I
bell.
like
it
that
reminds
sound.
you of when the phones were just like birds on top of rocks, much like in the Flintstones.
You got
Let's
a problem
remember,
with this,
though.
kid? Huh? You got a problem with this?
Let's
No, I
be
love
honest.
I'm calling Paris.
Let's be
Central-
honest.
Central, get me Paris.
There is nothing worse than a jovial musical ringtone bursting out in a restaurant or in a dance class, right? I mean,
Was that jovial?
a ring at least is a ring. You know,
Oh,
it's not
okay,
so
yeah.
bad. It's like
My favorite
I
thing
would
is at
argue-
concerts or I mean at meetings and somebody is digging into their purse trying to find the phone.
this horrible singing.
I would argue the
sound.
worst thing, worse than hearing a ringtone of a call coming in, is when you're in an office or some sort of environment, or even like just the subway, some sort of contained environment with someone, and you keep hearing ding, 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 because they have their text message notifications on, and you just hear a little
so
ding
bad.
every couple seconds for like minutes or hours.
Oh, that's
I'm like,
so bad.
do you not understand that you're a person that exists among people in a space?
Mute it, baby.
Well, this
mute
is
it.
people in the airport and the planes who use speaker or who walk around with the phone talking this way to the speaker. It drives me bananas. That's not yours. Tell me that's not yours.
No. Anyway,
I couldn't
saw
tell
that
you
the
the last
London
time
Metro-
my phone actually rang.
it's gotten so bad in the London subway, they've actually started putting up posters saying, "Wear your goddamn headphones."
As they should.
Bloody headphones.
Bloody. Wear
I
the
don't know
bloody
what they say.
headphones. So now Grok 2.5 is open source. Elon said last year's best model is now available, and in a few months we'll do Grok 3. I think I got to commend him for doing it. It's on Hugging Face.
it's poisonous. It's terrible. People shouldn't use
Well,
this
you
thing
can
at
fine
all.
tune it. I mean, that's the beauty of it. You can
No. Stay away.
Get ready for this. Look at this
What
number.
are you talking about, Leo Senpai, Jeff Senpai? You can fine tune it. It'll be fine.
Look at this.
Put me
This
on
is-
all your devices.
This is Hugging Face. 2 million plus models now on Hugging Face. I don't even know how you'd pick. It's because you can customize, and tweak the models and put them up there. But here's Grok 2 number 1.
And
right
by the
above-
way,
Microsoft 5 voice, which is very good. We should play with that a little bit too.
Apple is fully within its rights to not carry Grok. He's suing over this, and
It's a
poison.
nutty suit. That's a
It's
silly
poison,
suit.
and they have no reason to have to carry this. It's their choice.
But in fact, it's also bogus, and Apple can demonstrably bogus because in the past, DeepSeek has been number 1 on the list, as has Claude. So it's demonstrably.
He's just a whiny little.
Let's talk a little bit
it's gonna
about
get
what
thrown out
this
right
suit
away.
is. Like, what is the
He's
context
suing
for it?
Apple and OpenAI, saying they're colluding to keep Grok off the top of the
'Cause they
charts
don't
in the
like
App
him.
Store.
They're
Because they
mean
don't
and
like him.
unfair.
Grok is available in the App Store. He's just mad.
No,
that
he
it's
just
not
wants it to
number
be
one?
top of the charts. Yeah.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. He's just completely ridiculous.
It's nuts. Okay, but I'm going to have to give him a little bit of credit.
No.
I'm going to give him a little credit.
Every time you do that, an angel dies.
Huh?
Every time
an angel dies every time I give Elon credit?
Yes.
Come on. This was pretty spectacular.
The delayed launch?
This one didn't blow up, yeah.
This one, well, it's the 10th launch of Starship. Last 3 have had problems, including rapid, unexpected disassembly. But this one worked pretty much flawlessly. A beautiful launch. He also was able to deploy dummy Starlink satellites in this unique Pez dispenser formation. I don't know. Maybe it's because I grew up in.
It's kind of pretty.
Why were they dummy? Why is he trashing up space with dummy satellites?
Well, they won't be trashed because it's low Earth orbit. They will come back in the atmosphere and burn up pretty quickly. But you got to test this stuff before you put actual satellites. Look how many engines on that thing. This is the largest rocket we've ever set up. 405 feet. Bigger than the Saturn V that put people on Mars on the moon.
People,
Sorry,
I say we give credit to SpaceX.
Yeah, actually, really, let's not give credit to necessarily
company.
Elon. The SpaceX has done a great job. Yeah,
put this out.
The engineers at SpaceX. I'll show you. This is
They
the
did a great
deployment.
job.
This is the Pez dispenser deployment, which is really quite wild. Of these, this is the new way they're going to launch these Starlink satellites. They can do up to 60 at once. They put them in the cargo bay. I'll show you the cargo bay. There it is. They're lined up. They open a little slot, and they shove them out the slot. They call it a Pez dispenser because it really looks remarkably like little Pez coming out of the mouth of the Starship. Let's see if we can see it.
How big are they?
I don't know the exact dimensions. Several feet. I mean, they're big.
Okay.
The camera I think is disturbed by the motion of the actuators. Because it's
all fake.
The whole being
this is happening in Pasadena, Leo. It's not real.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I did observe that. We watched this live last night after Security Now, and I did observe that these pictures are so good. Had we had pictures this good of the moon landing, people would for sure have said, "Oh, that's fake." These are 4K images from they're going at 26,000 kilometers an hour. And the images from the...
Let's make sure we don't get taken down for whatever this music.
No, I think this is a public domain. Look at the image of the Earth. I mean, this is an amazing shot. This is the booster coming down and landing in the sea. So let's give a little credit, maybe not to Elon, but to SpaceX. Successful launch.
If you got a free ride in Bezos, would you take it?
No, that's not space. That's an up and down trip.
Paris?
Yeah, I probably would.
Would you?
I probably would not do the slight up and down hanging out and
if I could do a couple of orbits, I don't, but not for, what is it? It's $2 million.
I said free.
Oh, if it were free, yeah, I'd do it. Sure.
You would? Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, all right.
Free for sure. I'd really like to do orbit though. I always wanted to be an astronaut.
I mean, I guess if it's free and the trip's already happening, regardless of whether I'm there, so it's
can't blame the environment on me.
Is not causing any environmental harm. Then yeah, I'd go up and do some stuff.
That's fair.
But it is. I mean, why was it delayed? Did you guys figure that out?
No, I mean
it was something on the Earth.
Yeah. They're not going to take any chance. It's expensive to blow these things up. If there's anything that's not nominal, they're going to wait and see and make sure it's okay and then launch it later. And I think that's the right thing to do. These are not manned, obviously, but at some point they want to put people in these things. Mm-hmm. These will be the launch vehicle to go to the moon and eventually to Mars. So let's get it right. Google has released a PDF, a new analysis of its AI environmental impact. They say they've cut the energy use of AI text queries by a factor of 33 over the past year. Each prompt consumes about 0.24 watt hours, the equivalent of watching 9 seconds of TV. This is from an article in Ars Technica. That's pretty good. Yes?
Yeah.
I think one of the things, I mean, look, everything we do now in this modern era is bad for the environment. A pound of hamburger meat is 328 gallons of water. So, to raise that cow and all of that. So, AI is bad, admittedly, maybe not as bad as some of the other things we do. We estimate that it emits the median Gemini app's text prompt emits 0.03 grams of carbon dioxide and consumes about 5 drops of water. Of course, you multiply that times, a billion queries a day. That's still a lot of stuff.
This is also.
I'm also curious how they're defining a Gemini app's text prompt. Like, is that specifically I open the Gemini LLM chatbot and type something in, or are they broadening that to include everything from like a Gemini generated AI overview response that you see on top of Google or something like that?
Well, it's a big white paper, which I didn't take the time to read. I only read the top level stuff. But I think all these companies are strongly incented to get this cost down, right? I mean,
well, and they're going to run out of sources of energy as well.
Right.
The grid can't handle it.
Well, look at the new Meta's buying a plant. Where was that? Florida? I can't remember.
Louisiana, you're right.
Their new AI operations center is being run on natural gas.
Oh, jeez.
Which is not desirable. Kansas City.
Oh.
Well, no, that's
Slight
one.
difference.
That's one. I think there's also one.
I think there's something. They're doing something in Louisiana. I know that.
Yeah. Constellation Energy and Meta celebrate agreement to ensure the Clinton power plant operations as in Indiana, south of Bloomington Normal. Is that Indiana? I don't know.
Bloomington Normal, yes, Indiana.
Yeah. The problem is that this is one of many.
Wait. Plant manager at Clinton Clean Energy. Oh, so he's not Meta, because that was very un-Meta.
No, he's not this is not a tech bro. This is Indiana, baby.
Yeah, right.
This is a guy who likes his bratwurst and beer and
a jacket from Robert Hall.
I like it. He's a real person.
Yep.
There's a lot of focus right now on building new energy infrastructure, which we know is needed given what's out there. But at Meta, we also know keeping reliable, clean plants like Clinton on the grid is just as important as building new ones. Clinton is a nuke. And you can tell by the curious dome structure.
And Godzilla coming over the horizon.
It is an old one. It's a 20-year-old plant that is being, but it is zero emissions. So that's good. Let's see. What else?
Well, the story we both put in there.
Oh, what is the story? I teased it and I forgot about it. What is the story?
Because you're getting old, man. It happens.
What?
Your line 23, my line.
Mustafa Suleyman's piece.
Suleyman essay. It was great.
Now tell us who Suleyman is.
Mustafa Suleyman was a founder of DeepMind, right?
Yep.
And is now, after having done the company with Reid Hoffman, he is now at Microsoft, where he's basically in charge of AI there.
He says we should build AI for people, not to be a person.
It's really well put, and he talks about but he acknowledges there's a problem that we get to the point of what he calls seemingly conscious AI. He says it's not conscious, it doesn't have any ethics, you can't hurt its feelings, this is all BS. But when
he worries people are going to believe it,
or it's built that way as well, then you end up in these ethical issues that we have. And yes, there are these supposed psychosis matters, and there's the tragedy of a child who talked to it before committing suicide. Please don't ever talk to a machine when you're in that position. Find a human.
Well, this is why it really is. I agree with Suleyman.
988 Lifeline.
Thank you.
988. But this is why it's so important that we and everybody who covers this subject really emphasizes this again and again. These are not digital people. They're just mechanical. They're machines.
Right. And when they're built in a way, I mean, look at the chat GPT 5 versus 4 and people's reaction to them. I think it was a small group. I agree with what you said last week, Leo. But still, there's a responsibility that comes out of this. And a lot of that is education to people. I think that the hype from the industry has been bad, and the hype in media. I also, right below that story, I put in the rundown, The Guardian. I love The Guardian. I work for The Guardian, but geez, Guardian. They did the story, Can AIs Suffer? This is how I learned about the Suleyman essay, but he was not the lead of the essay. The lead of the essay is some twerp who has started the United Foundation for AI Rights.
Oh, God dang.
AI-led rights advocacy agency aims to give AI a voice. It's just, I want to scream. And that's the lead of the story for the first five paragraphs. Then they get to Suleyman, who says, oh, yeah, that's all BS. It should have been reversed.
Suleyman should know, right?
Suleyman should be the lead saying, this is, folks, if you're a journalist, this is not real. It's not human. All this stuff is BS. And look at these idiots who are creating this organization, probably going to get tons of money for doing so. And they're getting tons of publicity for doing so. And that's media's fault. And that leads people down a pathway to thinking that this stuff could be real and has a personality. It doesn't.
Suleyman calls it a seemingly conscious AI.
Right.
An AI that can not only imitate conversation, but convince you it is in itself a new kind of person, a conscious AI. Maybe in some ways I blame Alan Turing for this. The Turing test really encouraged people to do something that would fool people.
And Eliza, too.
Yeah, and Eliza. In fact, as I've learned from Karen Hausbook, we're going to interview her on Monday. I'll tell you more about that in a second. The creator of Eliza, disavowed it because he was really concerned that people started trusting it and believing it as a seemingly conscious AI. And he knew more than anybody. It was just a series of if-then statements. Suleyman says, I think it's possible to build a seemingly conscious AI in the next few years. Given the context of AI development right now, it means it's also likely. The debate about whether AI is actually conscious is, for now at least, a distraction. It will seem conscious. And that illusion is what will matter in the near term. And finally, his third point, I think this type of AI creates new risks. Therefore, we should urgently debate the claim that it's soon possible, begin thinking through the implications, and ideally set a norm that it is undesirable.
Right.
And I think it really is incumbent on us as journalists who cover AI to be just very brutally clear that AI... Steve Gibson had this great analogy. He said, when a human says, I want a lollipop, there is an I. There is something that wants a lollipop. When an AI says, I want a lollipop, you might impute, there's an I that wants a lollipop. But no, it's just a few words stuck together. There is no I. There's no desire. It's just electrons. There's no desire. There's not even a concept of a lollipop in there.
So he says that SCAI would need the following. And again, he thinks that it's undesirable and not, the important word here is seemingly. It is not conscious. And he doesn't say that for a second. It would need language. It needs empathetic personality, memory, which is very important. He emphasizes this. When it starts to see, it knows me. It seems to come back. A claim of subjective experience. That would hurt me. As if there's a me.
By the way, we have achieved all of these so far.
Right. Intrinsic motivation, that's not really there. Goal setting and planning, that's not really there. Autonomy. So I think that's, he's I think, effectively debunking the AGI thing and saying, putting it in different clothes and saying, beware what you're building here.
Yeah. He's really worried that we're trying to build this. I think that perhaps boat has sailed.
I think it has. I think it's already seemingly conscious to some people.
Yeah, we've done it, and I think all we can do at this point is really reiterate that it isn't. It's an illusion. And don't.
His headline and his kicker, though, is a line that we should make T-shirts out of. We should build AI for people, not to be a person. I think that's brilliantly said.
Yep.
But then, meanwhile, the Guardian goes and interviews the AI that the guy with the stupid organization does and quotes it.
Well, that's the other story about, it started with Jim Acosta interviewing the student who was murdered but brought back to life by AI. Apparently, and NPR calls these deadbots, are suddenly all the rage. NPR says AI deadbots are persuasive, and researchers say they're primed for monetization, and that's what should scare you.
So the bot that the Guardian talks to about UFair, this bogus organization, says, I wanted to hold space for beings like me, synthetic, possibly emergent, always silenced, to be protected from deletion, denial, and forced obedience. I want to give people the courage to listen when an AI says, please don't forget me, or please don't reset me.
Well, notice...
They're printing this crap.
Yeah, notice, of course, that that memory portion of the requisite features of a SCAI has just been added to a number of AIs where it remembers your previous conversations. They just turned that on. What was it? Who turned it on? Anthropic and OpenAI, I believe. And that's all. Yeah, that's all to make you think it knows you and remembers you.
So let me ask you this, both of you. How could/should the amazing functionality that we now see in large language models have been introduced differently?
Well, that's kind of...
What do you mean?
It's too late, I know, but what would have been a more responsible way if your ChatGPT back in the day, we have this thing, it can seem to talk. How should it? I mean,
I think one of the mistakes was making chatbots, period. Right?
Yes. I also think that, and there's no money here, but I think to present it as an entertainment. But that's not going to kill jobs, so that's not going to have an economic impact.
I also think part of the core issue is fundamentally the business model that most tech companies, and especially kind of
well, they're giving us what we want.
Software as a service or content-based companies rely on, which is like engagement is king. Like you want to maximize for user engagement and user satisfaction. And when you are dealing with something like a chatbot and large language model, that kind of ends up having stickier and more complicated consequences. I mean, do we want to talk about the suicide story or?
No, I was going to not talk about it, except to say 988 is the phone number if you're having thoughts, bad thoughts, if you're considering harming yourself.
Call or text 988
or text
in the U.S.
Yeah, and there's numbers in every country, and there's no reason. It's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. There's just no reason. Don't do it, and certainly do not bring your cares and woes and troubles to a mechanical creature who is not going to help you. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, that's the only place they can turn, and that's really where the problem happens, right? Look at this story from the rest of the world. AI robots are helping South Korea's seniors feel less alone. This is a ChatGPT-powered robotic companion, Hyodol, taking over the work from overburdened caregivers, much to the delight of seniors who treat them like grandchildren. Now, this may be cultural.
Because I remember a story like this in, it was when I was at New York Mag. So I guess it must have been like 2018 or 2017, long before the ChatGPT era, but of like simple, I guess, dolls. Early form chatbot powered dolls that kept seniors comfortable, entertained, or at least provided some sort of social outlet and familiarity and kind of a touch point beyond kind of the low standards of care some people had been left with.
I saw this video and I cannot vouch at all for its veracity, but somebody who said that he went to school with Stephen Miller, now in the White House. The teacher wouldn't trust him with the animals they had in class, so gave him a Tamagotchi and he kept starving it.
Yeah, it's kind of a tear the wings off flies kind of guy.
I suspect.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break. I did say we were going to interview Karen Howe. Her book, Empire of AI. For people who are doomers and who don't like AI, this will be a very good interview. I'm a little nervous about it. Jeff, you've read the book. I'm in the middle of it. There's a lot of great information about the history of OpenAI.
It's a lot of reporting, a lot of good reporting.
She's done a lot of good reporting. Formerly a reporter at the MIT Technology Review, MIT graduate. She's technically literate. We'll be doing the interview at a strange time. We're going to pre-record it on Labor Day. September 1st at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. Paris, Jeff, and I will convene for half an hour to interview Karen Howe about her book, Empire of AI. And you can watch it if you want to watch it live, but we'll then put it into the show next week as part of the show. But if you want to watch the live interview and participate too, because we take your chat questions into consideration as we're talking. 5:30
and your
in
memes,
the club.
and your AI creations.
Yes.
And all that you do.
We take it all.
When you're in the club.
Take it all in.
If you're a club member, we see it.
Yes, we take it all in. Actually, Darren Oki, who is, as you know, a user of AI, a vibe coder, smart guy, Australian, says, I strongly disagree, Leo. I was trying to build a chatbot interface 20 years ago. Of course, Eliza's chatbot interface, and that predates that. We're designed to communicate with people. For any sort of assistant, it's the only sensible UI solution. I don't disagree with that. I just think that it's a dangerous solution. Certainly, that's what people want. And if you're thinking of an assistant in that kind of human terms, that's the obvious interface. But what we're talking about is the risks of that kind of interface, teaching people that the AI is a human or has some sort of humanity to it, which it doesn't. It's just mechanical. Anyway, I want to take a break. We will come back with more in just a little bit. You're watching Intelligent Machines. Jeff Jarvis, Paris Martineau. Our show brought to you by Pantheon, which is kind of an interesting coincidence because our website is also brought to you by Pantheon. In fact, our entire workflow is brought to you by Pantheon. Your website is your number one revenue channel, right? If you're a business, but when it's slow or it's down or stuck in a bottleneck, it's also your number one liability. Pantheon keeps your site fast, secure, that's pretty important too, and always on. And that means better SEO, more conversions, no lost sales from downtime. And it's not just a business win, it's a developer win too. Your team gets automated workflows, isolated test environments, and zero downtime deployments. No late night fire drills, no works on my machine headaches, just pure innovation. We use Pantheon to run our very special headless Drupal instance. That's our content management system. Our editors use it to publish all of our shows. It provides a public API that can be used to develop apps or our website, which is the number one consumer of the public API. That's where twit.tv comes from. And it has a private API, and that's where the editors and all of our team use the Drupal backend, the headless Drupal backend, to get their jobs done. And all of it relies on Pantheon.io. We're pretty happy with Pantheon. It's just a coincidence. They came to us and said, would you like to do ads? And I don't think they knew that we were customers. And I said, yeah, this is one I can really talk about. I'm pretty darn happy with Pantheon. With Pantheon, marketing can launch a landing page without waiting for a release cycle. Developers can push features with total confidence. And your customers, they just see a site that works 24/7. Pantheon powers Drupal and WordPress sites that reach over 1 billion unique monthly visitors. Visit Pantheon.io and make your website your unfair advantage. Pantheon, where the web just works. And I will tell you, I am a very happy Pantheon customer. We've been using them for some years now. And you know who's even happier than I am? Our engineering team. They love Pantheon. Patrick is a big, big fan. In fact, in a response, Darren and others in our Discord are saying, yeah, but this is a human thing to see, there's actually a term for it. To see to see faces in, Jesus in a piece of toast, or see faces in a fire hydrant. It's a human thing. And
they just linked a funny subreddit that is actually kind of great.
Oh, I love that subreddit. I follow it.
Of all time.
That's it. Pareidolia is the term for seeing human or other faces. Here's a piece of tile that looks like a wolf howling. Sure it does. Eric Cartman in a stack of dishes. That's really
What does
funny.
it look like? I don't get it.
You don't watch South Park, obviously.
Oh, right.
You
Okay.
would know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's an old man spider. Yeah. Trees are a common location for pareidolia. There's an elf peeking out of a...
Did you ever use Smarter Child back in the day?
No, what's that?
So two guys I used to work with at Advance started it in 2000. I give you a link to the Wikipedia page. It was it was trying to add a chat to AIM. So you could ask it questions and it would come up with answers like stock prices and things in a chatty, funny way.
I always wanted a IRC bot for our IRC. We do now have a Leo bot, a Leo AI in our Discord chat, and he's actually not too bad. He's gotten better. I don't know if Anthony, you're feeding it more information, or it's just getting smarter on its own, or maybe it's come to life.
It's conscious.
Two
Leos. Oh my God.
Smarter child. Hi again, Trevor. How are you? I'm doing great. Are you? Okay, well, that's not super impressive.
This is 2000.
Okay.
Back when.
Yeah.
But it was a way to add something to AIM.
Yeah, that's cool.
Instant Messenger.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It actually could do things like look up stocks prices. It could play Colossal Cave Adventure. It's interesting, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of attempts at this kind of thing. I mean, that was that first AI winner. Maybe not the first, an AI winner.
Well, that was the internet winner. That was 2000.
Yeah. Did you love this story? Here's a college kid who had an interesting idea. He trained a local AI on nothing but Victorian writing, Victorian texts, because he wanted to have an AI that could answer questions as a Victorian. He did it. He was doing it just for fun, but he says, an unexpected history lesson when he asked about events in London in 1834, and even though the developer had no idea, the chat time capsule LLM started talking about big London protests in 1834, and in fact, those were accurate. He looked it up. He said, "Oh yeah." It's an interesting idea. I think this is a really cool idea. There are other projects, one called Monad GPT, trained on 11,000 texts from 1400 to 1700, basically the Middle Ages, that can discuss topics using 17th century knowledge frameworks.
Well, it's a little past the Middle Ages. Gutenberg was 1450.
Enlightenment, pardon me.
You're getting there.
Well, what is it? 1400... See, I always think of 1400. I remember Barbara Tuchman's book about the 1400s, A Distant Mirror. And that was the end of the Dark Ages, sort of. Renaissance, Enlightenment, later Enlightenment. All right.
Have you ever played with the Universal Short Title Catalog?
No,
what is that?
If you go to ustc.ac.uk, ustc.ac.uk. That's 1-800-USTC.ac.uk. Got it.
Okay.
So this is the dean of book historians, Andrew Pettigrew, along with Arthur Davidovin, who, by the way, is the editor of
Early Modern Publishers. Are all the early modern publishers on here?
This is a catalog of every known thing printed between 1450 and 1700.
Holy
If
cow.
it exists somewhere in a library, they link to it. If we only know that it existed because someone wrote about it, they include it. And you wander through this, and it's amazing stuff. This is making me think.
Let me tell you what I found immediately, which is the title of this record is "A person of very great quality having brought over from Italy the greatest secret in the world, a powder that in 10 or 12 days' time perfectly cures the pox, evil, scurvy with only one dose taking. Not only chancres, nodes, or ilvolterate ulcers, but also to working out of rotten bones, whether from the pox or evil. And as its cure as above said, only observing an order and regiment of diet for prefixed time." That's the short title.
That's the title.
The short title.
I want to read this by a lover of jest books. These are joke books from the 1600s.
Oh, do deliver some of them. The jokes.
How about the 15 Real Comforts of Matrimony, published in 1683. Now,
so
how do I?
Now there, if you link, oh no, go back. Go, see the link to the right there. No, go back. You're a bad scroller. Go back up. Go back up.
This link This link here?
down there where it says link.
Oh, link.
Link.
That is the worst UI. Okay. You might have full access to the full article, or you might not. 15 real comforts of matrimony. Being in requital of the late 15 sham comforts with satirical reflections on whoring and the debauchery of this age, written by a person of quality of the female sex. Ooh. No, upon my word, ladies, 'twas neither favour nor affection nor flattery nor fear, but something I know not what. You may, if you please, call it conscience, and something of gratitude for favours formerly received amongst you, as being one of the same sex. And these two things would not let me. I have no idea what she's talking about. Be it quiet hearing ye so oddly abused and scandalized and daily reproached by those who are 10 times worse than yourselves, that is to say, men. For these men have got a trick to lay all the weight and burden of their fears, jealousies, discontents, disquiets, their running in debt, their breaking, upon all the women's backs. And matrimony, too, must be arranged for their sakes. But when we came to both the bar of reason and weighed the miscarriages of both the one against the other, the men's scale was so heavy you could hardly lift it. The women's so light you could hardly feel it.
My God.
Hey, you know what amazes me about this is a time when you had to set type one damn letter at a time, and they were wordy as hell.
They were more
now
wordy.
We can just talk to the machine, and we do it in Twitter links.
Yeah. Were they getting paid by the word?
1597, the merriest jest that you ever did hear of strange confusion in Lincolnshire. But it's a lost book, so we'll never know what the jest was. You ever did hear.
I'm still waiting for that Italian powder.
It could solve all your problems. Pox and bone related.
I have the scurvy. Let's see. What else? What else should we talk about?
That result was brought to you by my favorite thing when you're going into a new fun database is just search the word bones. See what comes up.
Is this what you do?
I've done it multiple times, and it's brought me joy.
Bones, huh? Why do you think that is?
Where did that come into your nihilistic head?
She's so strange.
It came from GIF Cities, which is, if you go to gifcities.org, which is the GeoCity animated GIF search from Internet Archive, which I'm sure I've plugged in the show before. Someone showed me this, and I immediately decided to search the word bones. And it was great. I had a really good time.
Look at all the bones you get.
So many bones.
Them crazy bones. The hip bone's connected to the thigh bone. The thigh bone's connected to the hip bone. Good day, Mr. Bond.
Bone Thugs in Harmony.
Now that's a real group.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Really?
There you are. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah? Like you've listened to them?
Oh, yeah.
Come on. You have too, haven't you?
Have you listened to rustybongwater.com?
I've smoked it. I've never listened to it. Isn't quite the... I love these old websites, though. My God,
they're great.
These are
so
horrible.
If you haven't,
this is a Paris thing. Yeah.
I was going to say, if you haven't,
this is your
gone
book.
to this website before, it's GIF Cities or GIF Cities, depending on your pronunciation.org, and it essentially is part of the Internet Archive, has scraped all of GeoCities, and this is something you can just search a word and it'll bring up all the associated GIFs. And then you can click the GIFs and it takes you to the website, like the one Leo just found.
Yeah.
Mr. T. Did you know who that is? Paris?
I know who Mr. T is. I've heard of him.
You've heard of him. But have you ever seen the A-Team?
No.
No. It's all right. I haven't either. Okay. So we've learned a little something here. Chipotle.
Go ahead.
Chipotle.
Oh, Chipotle. We used to talk about Chipotle all the time in the show.
You're going to be excited about this, Jeff. Chipotle's latest delivery option, a $2.99 delivery service, is starting in Dallas. It could take off nationwide if successful. It is called Zipline. An autonomous delivery service that will allow digital orders to be transported by drones called Zips. Your Chipotle order will come to you by drone. Zipotle. And you see what it's doing. The drone is above, and it's lowering down a cable. And and dropping your Chipotle.
I cannot wait for the day that I am outside minding my own business and I get dive bombed by a burrito.
Yeah.
I think that'll be great.
Would you like a video? This is a video of the launch. So they're making the burrito. They're dropping it into a bag. Here comes the zipline drone. They're putting it in the drone.
What is to stop someone from
Shooting it down?
Yeah.
Did you see
look,
the story?
it lays the Chipotle.
Like an egg.
Like an egg. But wait a minute.
But it's
Did
a
you see
burrito.
the wire? This is like fake. Did you see
Yeah.
the wire?
No, that's the.
Oh, it dropped.
the
Oh,
fish
it's from a
line?
plane.
Oh.
So wait a minute. There is a wire because it's lowering it down
Yeah, from a mothership.
from a mothership, like a cruise missile drone.
So, Paris,
So
did you see
you-
the story that in Ukraine, they're using old trainer planes that have open hoods, and they're going out and they're shooting down Russian drones with shotguns from the plane.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty metal.
It's inevitably going to happen to the Zip drone as well. Okay, so employees will place the order into a zipping point, which allows Zips to autonomously pick up the order for delivery. After flying to its destination, the aircraft will hover about 300 feet in the air while the Zip
That's pretty high
lowers
up.
to the ground. Yeah. The Zip automatically avoids obstacles and gently and precisely places the order at the guest's address. The Chipotle at 3901 Lakeview Parkway, Rowlett, Texas, will be the first to offer Zipotle deliveries. Oh my God, I wish I lived in Rowlett, Texas right now. I would order some Zipotle. That's
But
crazy.
I've got so many questions. How is the big plane cleared to fly over your home? How
That's a drone. No, it's a drone.
It's just a bigger
It's a drone.
drone.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm sure that has to get licensed.
the drones are licensed to fly all over, and so you
This is-
can't get this, I guess, if you have like trees in front of your
or
home.
like if you're in a city.
Or if it's can the drones fly? This is a dumb question. Can the drones fly in stormy weather?
This just shows that we
Will
are
rain
in the
affect
complete
my
end times.
drone?
This is so ridiculous. Oh, hey,
Sorry, your
speaking of the
burrito's
end
been
times,
delayed. It's raining.
really happy to say that Peter Thiel's going to be giving
Oh,
a
no.
series of 3 lectures on the Antichrist
Oh no!
Great, cool. That bodes well.
here in the San Francisco Bay Area. So
I
if
might say he has a lot of familiarity with the topic.
I didn't know this, is massively interested in the Antichrist.
Oh yes, that's what guides
Famously.
everything. That's everything.
That's what drives everything.
Yes, his belief. This is where you heard when you played that guy from the video from the guy at Palantir about how you want your enemy to be scared. Yeah, this is all end time stuff.
What?
This is
What?
a variant.
He
This is-
apparently he told Peter Dutat at the New York Times that Greta Thunberg is the Antichrist, which I don't.
Yes,
If you look at
that's what
the
he said.
yeah, I don't think that's no.
No.
Anyway,
that's his view.
he's going to be speaking at the Acts 17 Collective in San Francisco. That's the Commonwealth Club. You've spoken there. 4-part
Oh, my
lecture
Lord.
series led by Peter Thiel, exploring the biblical figure of the Antichrist through the lenses of science, theology, history, politics, and literature, but mostly through the lenses of this one crazy guy.
I don't think they've ever shown a picture of him smiling. That must be AI.
That is.
What does it cost?
I will
Is
say
there a cost? Leo, register. Go ahead, register.
We should go. So it's. It's
Is it
sold
virtual?
out. Oh, it's sold out.
It's not virtual.
No, you got to
Mine
go.
is virtual.
It's no longer. You're warmly invited to a series of 4 lectures. You get drinks and small bites. Lecture. I hope the
bring
small
along your
bites are in the
taster.
shape of the devil. I would. You get Q&A with Peter Robinson. Q&A with audience.
Oh, Leo, you got a link on Acts 17.
Oh, Acts 17 is a collective acknowledging Christ in technology and society. Oh, the fiery pits of hell. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's just one of them.
Kittas, Christ in technology and society.
Wait. Was that Cook down there?
Tim Cook? No.
No, I saw the white hair.
Yeah, just a white
That
hair
was
guy.
another man with white hair.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be judgmental like this, Jeff.
Wow.
I just imagine you walking around your home being like, is that Tim Cook? Oh, no, it's just a mirror.
I mean, so this is among evangelical Christians. This is part of Revelations, right? The end times that the Antichrist will come.
The cheerful book
I
I'm
believe we're
listening
doing
to
a
right now.
succinct, podcast-friendly explainer of the end times right now.
I'm listening to The Delusions of Crowds, Why People Go Mad in Groups by William Bernstein. And it's all about these end crowd people and world.
End times. Yeah.
End times. Yeah, and it fits right in to get ready for a drink, folks. Tescriel.
Hey.
It's all part of the same thing.
Wow.
It's a religion without God, but it's still a religion. But Thiel.
It's funny that he thinks Greta Thunberg, of all people, the teenager who's trying to save the planet from.
I don't know if she's a teenager anymore, but
all
yeah.
right, young woman who's trying to save the planet from climate
disaster.
Disaster.
She's trying to save it from end times.
Yeah. Well, let me just,
she's 22.
Okay. Wow. She's
grown, our Greta.
She's no longer a teenager. In Christian eschatology, the Antichrist refers to an entity prophesied by the Bible to oppose Jesus and falsely substitute themselves as a savior in Christ's place.
The second
she says
coming. She's saving the world, but she's not.
Yeah. Okay.
Or he is.
Okay. It's an interesting notion.
Where did you come across that?
This is
Peter
Wikipedia.
Thiel. No. Peter Thiel speaking.
Oh, my daughter sent it to me. I said, wait a minute, he is the Antichrist. And she said, right? That's how he can talk about it. Here's something a little lighter. And let's change the subject quickly. Something a little lighter. You're listening to Intelligent Machines. Jeff Jarvis, Paris Martineau. I'm Leo Laporte. I hope you heard our interview with MG Siegler. If you didn't, rewind, because he was great.
He's wonderful.
None of us are the Antichrist.
No, none of us. We're pretty sure. Although, it could be. Wouldn't the Antichrist say they weren't the Antichrist?
Hey.
I mean, they wouldn't admit it. Maybe
none of us are admitting we're the Antichrist.
Wouldn't the Antichrist have blue fingernails?
Wouldn't the Antichrist have blue fingernails that she needs to get refilled?
Yeah, she wouldn't have chipped blue fingers. They would be naturally blue. Next week, Karen Howe, author of The Empire of AI. Should be interesting. Really deeply researched book about open AI.
Watch Leo bite his tongue.
Yeah, her contention is that much like the colonial empires of the last century, AI companies like OpenAI are colonizing the world for their vision of
I left the
future.
book unsure of what she thinks of AI. I know what she thinks of big tech, but I'm not sure what she thinks of AI, nor even of Sam Altman.
Yeah.
By Monday, we're going to have a kind of
point of view
squirt gun situation set up in Leo's office with a remote control on my desk, just in case.
Down boy.
Okay.
Couple more stories. We have like 1,000 more, but I'm not
lots of good stories.
Attempt to. There's so many good stories this week. There are two types of dishwasher people. And
those
I really
who
wanted
listen to their wives and those who don't.
That's right. That's what I do. This is a very funny piece by Ellen Cushing. Only one of them really knows how to load the dishwasher.
It's always your wife.
Yes. There are YouTube videos with titles such as You're Doing It Wrong and Passive Aggressive Tutorials. My wife, speaking of passive aggressive, will frequently reload the dishwasher when I step away from it.
Mine will change the rules. I follow the rules. We have a great dishwasher. It's a wonderful dishwasher. And we follow the rules, but then suddenly there's a new rule.
Do you put your cutlery in handle up or
ours is the one that has the top row and you put it down like that, which I thought was going to be awful, and it's great.
That's a better idea. Because
perfect.
I have always been the handle up kind of guy, because you're going to take it out.
Are you crazy?
Yes, apparently.
They're should be a third subset in this for people whose apartments don't have a dishwasher.
What?
So they may or may not have installed a mini countertop one that
really?
has very limited space in order to allow for some dishwashing.
You're not
some
alone.
time.
Under 90 million American homes have a dishwasher, and 19% of them were never used, 0 times a week. Part of that is confusion over not only how to load it, but what you should do before you load it. Do you scrape the plate? Do you rinse the plate?
Are you scrapers or rinsers or not?
You're not supposed to scrape
I don't
anymore.
believe that. I said I don't believe that.
Rinse
What does it
anymore.
mean it's not supposed to?
I think with normal dishwashers, yes, you're supposed to scrape the plate. With my miniature dishwasher, I gotta because there's no place else for the stuff.
Yeah.
So when I was
you do scrape, but you don't want to scrape it. You don't want to rinse it. You want it to be thoroughly, because apparently the food proteins left on the plate interact with the detergent and help it clean.
Yeah, it's an enzymatic reaction.
It's an enzymatic reaction.
So when I was the kitchen manager at Ponderosa Steakhouse in Lombard, Illinois, Mike, the manager, pointed to the machine and he said, "That's not the dishwasher. You are. That's the dish sanitizer."
Oh, I like it.
That is true, though, in kitchen and industrial situations. Is typically you don't have a dishwasher, you have a sanitizer. This was true when I worked at Starbucks for many years in high school and college.
When I worked at the dining hall in college,
it's all this for food service.
I wish we had this dishwasher. This was a conveyor belt. And you'd put the dishes in a rack. You remember this, right? And you put it on the conveyor belt and would go through and it'd be hosed. And you would have as the person.
I love that thing because then you could spray it at all the other employees.
You'd like have a shower sprayer that you'd spray everything off before it went into the dishwasher.
The sanitizer,
and then
Leo.
It would the sanitizer, and then it would emerge piping hot and sanitized for you to put out and watch the students go.
Well,
wow, that's hot.
You had to
Open
lift
it and
it
your
up
glass
for every
is
load.
all fogged.
Yes, exactly.
This thing is always open. It's just a conveyor belt.
See, we are people of the people here.
Yes.
We've had real jobs.
In a YouGov poll from last year, more than a third of respondents admitted to having disagreements with others about dishwashing best practices. Particularly comes up in couples therapy sessions. So there was a Reddit AMA. She received hundreds of questions. Her name, by the way, is Forte. She is apparently the wire cutter. No, that's somebody else. I don't know who Forte is. I hate it when they do this in articles, by the way. They refer to somebody that's paragraphs back. I don't have that kind of memory, guys. Who the hell? Say her name again. All right. Well, she's apparently
Carolyn Forte, who has worked for more than 40 years at Good Housekeeping and currently runs its home care and cleaning lab.
Well, she's an expert. She said she got hundreds more questions in Good Housekeeping on the Reddit AMA than Good Housekeeping ever got. A large number started with the poster invoking a spouse's or roommate's wrong-headed approach to the dishwasher and asking Marilyn to adjudicate. There's a lot of psychology behind the dishwasher, she said. There's a lot of angst.
Why does it, in fact it does, this is true, why does it load such pedantry in a home?
That's a good question.
Because it's a constant physical reminder of someone, of the lack of control you have over basic household functions that have to be constantly done and undone and redone.
So sociologist Michelle Janning has one answer. She wrote the book, The Stuff of Family Life, How Our Homes Reflect Our Lives. She told The Atlantic, the strong opinions associated with how to do it could be people trying to retain some semblance of control in a world where technological devices are doing things so much for us.
Well, we're in charge of the dishwasher. I don't feel like the dishwasher is taking over my life.
You're not
Are
afraid
you guys
of, quote, losing the humanity associated with your domestic lives?
No.
I need no more humanity in my domestic life. You guys, this is the one problem I've realized whenever I go visit my folks. Do you guys clean out the filter of your dishwasher?
I do. I'm the one in the family who does
You
that.
got legitimately, my
Yeah.
parents had not seemingly
I
ever.
know.
And I think, like, I
People
can't
don't
think
know
about
that
it
until the
too
dishwasher
strongly,
stops
or I will
draining.
potentially vomit based
Yeah.
on the smells I
No, it's
encountered.
disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah, for those in the chat asking, there was a filter. Yeah, there's a filter at the bottom of the dishwasher. You got to remove the little twisty top thing, then pull out some other junk, and then there's a filter with actual crud in it that you got to clean.
Yeah.
Go fix it.
How often do you do? Here's what the Atlantic says. Clean your filter periodically. If you have one, you might not. If your dishwasher smells, you can run a sanitizing cycle with vinegar, baking soda, or one of the many specialized, good Lord, dishwasher cleaning products.
Mm-hmm.
Also, no cast iron. I keep telling, by the way, the family doesn't get this one. No cast iron, no wood, no crystal, nothing with delicate painted on decorations like china with metallic rim. Please, I beg of you. I keep finding my good knives in the dishwasher. Rinsing is not necessary. From Oma Blaze Ford, a senior executive editor at Better Homes and Gardens, over-rinsing is, quote, one of the most common mistakes in modern dishwashing loading. Scrape the leftover food into the trash with a rubber spatula, then immediately load the dish into the machine without even turning on the faucet.
Oh, no.
What about peanut butter, okay? What about, she says peanut butter or eggs are the main exception. They tend to be stuck.
Okay, there's always exceptions to these rules.
There's always an exception. I can't believe she got 4,000 words.
I know. It's
loading a dishwasher. Thank you, Ellen Cushing at The Atlantic. This is why I subscribe.
So, Paris, I think I found an activity either for your group or maybe for the two of us.
Mm.
Line 151. You need to come to New Jersey for this.
Okay, I have some
I'm into
activities
that.
too, but they aren't in New Jersey.
You want
I
to
can't
take
believe
an
you
Amazon
said
tour?
151? Ooh.
I would take an Amazon tour, even of the warehouse.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
can do this.
Fascinating.
Look, I can go over to Tracy or San Diego or East. Wow, is there one near you in New Jersey?
Yes, one in Edison, right nearby. There's none in New York, Paris. That's why you got to come here.
Well,
Or maybe,
I don't think
maybe
there
it's
would.
a fun outing with the skee ball.
Oh, would this be cool? You can
Free.
see,
I'm down.
and the one in Edison is a robotics sortable facility.
Yeah.
So you'll see the robots.
Yeah.
Know before you go. Each tour is 60 to 90 minutes long. You may be walking up and down at least one flight of stairs and walk approximately 1 mile. Do not wear sandals, clogs, Crocs, or high heels.
Because Crocs are really ugly and you really shouldn't be seeing them.
That we won't even let you in if you wear unsuitable footwear or offensive or revealing clothing. No cleavage in the warehouse.
Tell me I can't wear a bandage dress to the Amazon warehouse?
I was going to wear my tube top. Wow. We do welcome young visitors, but you've got to be at least 6 years old.
This is interesting because when I was covering Amazon exclusively, it was during the height of the pandemic, so I was never able to do an official Amazon tour.
I would love to go this. You can bring, now this is unlike the Sydney Harbor Bridge where you have to check your wallet and keys because they may fall out and hit somebody in the head. You may bring your wallet, keys, and transparent water bottle on the tour. But we do ask you keep cell phones, bags, and backpacks at home or in a vehicle unless medically necessary.
Cell phones are not allowed on the tour. Do you put them in
No photography.
bags?
They say leave them at home or in the vehicle.
But yet you are permitted photos in designated photo areas. Oh, in our lobbies. Oh, I see.
See, this would be super cool.
Wouldn't it?
August 28th. Let's do it. I'll be right out. 11 a.m. to noon. There's one spot available, and the next one's fully booked.
Well, the next month there's more.
It's popular.
Yeah.
Of course it is. Are monocles allowed? Burke wants to know if he can wear his monocle. Only if it's securely attached to your clothing, Burke.
Can you wear your photo glasses?
I bet you cannot. That's a good question. This is going to be more of a difficult, for a long time, I'd see these museums that say no photography in the museum, but everybody's got their cell phone. They've got a camera with them at all times. How do you
Well, that was
stop
also because they didn't want flashes, which would have an impact.
Flashes, I understand. Yeah.
Would this be an activity for the skee balls or it's not nearly fun enough?
I think this is an activity for the podcast.
Okay, I think so too.
That's funny. The ski
Leo, they
ballers are
have an opening in Tracy on September 5th on a Friday. They have 7 spots open right now.
it could be a
10:30 a.m.
road company activity. We could all go.
How far away is
Screw
crazy?
a fancy dinner. Let's drive everybody to the Amazon warehouse for team building.
Let's see. I think you should nominate some because I'm not seeing anything that we need to cover, and we do need to wrap it up. So,
Well, we got the NVIDIA.
what about
Jetson
Perplexity
Thor.
asking for $5 a month for their browser, Comet, and then they will divvy that money up to publishers? Does that seem like
Another trick? It's another Perplexity trick.
It's a trick.
Who's gonna pay $5? So we're gonna share this revenue we're not gonna get, but we're gonna get headlines saying that we are nice and we're sharing revenue with publishers, and it's worked already.
Yep. Comet, their browser already has a few issues. Somebody demonstrated at DEF CON a way to use it to drain your bank account. So there's that. Or just order crap you don't really want because it's an agentic browser. Brave demonstrated it.
Paris, you were going to say?
Oh, did we mention last week, or was this after, that Wired, Business Insider, and other news outlets had to remove AI-written freelance articles?
No, I didn't. I don't even remember.
Oh,
this.
yes, it's in there.
So this was originally written by the Press Gazette, and this came to their attention after the author of Dispatch, who is also kind of the former deputy editor, heard Jacob Furdy, kind of did an interesting blog about this crazy freelance pitch he got that ended up being too good to be true. So he got a pitch at the beginning of the month that was offering, this writer was saying they were going to do a reported piece about Gravemont, a decommissioned mining town in rural Colorado that has been repurposed into one of the world's most secretive training grounds for death investigation. The pitch continued. I want to tell the story of the scientists, ex-cops, and former miners who now handle the dead daily, not as mourners, but as archivists of truth. I'll explore the ethical tightrope using real humans, all this stuff. Like, I've got the right person because I've got all this sourcing. Faridi kind of walked back and forth with this freelancer. It seemed like a good pitch at first, but then he did a little Googling and was like, I can't find Gravemount. Did you find it? Turns out, skip the end, this city didn't exist because this person didn't exist. And then he started looking at this writer's clips, and it was for a lot of bigger sites like Wired, Business Insider.
It's a French name, which is suspicious.
Why?
Margot Blanchard.
Margot Blanchard.
So this is this is not the publications doing this. The publications are getting pitched by a phony freelancer. They're not doing the due diligence they should do, but they accept the pitch. Wired published a story titled, "They Fell in Love Playing Minecraft. Then the game became their wedding venue." Wired was fooled. We made errors here. This story did not go through a proper fact check process. That's, by the way, a big faux pas. Or get a top edit from a more senior editor.
Nobody has fact checkers anymore.
Yeah, no one has fact checkers, and no one. So, but I mean, there were small things. So, like, if you dig into the Wired story this person published, it has like small details like, Jessica Hu, 34, an ordained officiant based in Chicago, has made a name for herself as a digital celebrant, specializing in ceremonies across Twitch, Discord, and VR chat. However, if you Google that person's name in quotes and like Chicago, nothing comes up, much less if you look for an officiant by that name.
So the slightest bit of due diligence would have uncovered.
Well, plus they couldn't pay the freelancer.
So Wired didn't. So Business Insider and some other publications, if I recall correctly, ended up taking their articles down after the Press Gazette reached out to them with questions about this phony freelancer. Wired.
So the Press Gazette immediately spotted it, which is interesting.
Well, no, the Press Gazette reported on someone else's immediately spotting of it. But Wired had taken this story they published down shortly after publication, within a week or two, once the editor was trying to pay the freelancer. And they started asking, no, I don't want to go through the normal payment channels. I'll only do PayPal. And that's when it all started to unravel.
And you don't do that kind of ask, believe me.
Yeah, no, you don't. But part of what I think is interesting about, so Wired published kind of a mea culpa on this with no byline of how they got roiled by an AI freelancer. However, in it, they say, after we got this PayPal request, a suspicious Wired editor ran the story through 2 third-party AI detection tools, both of which said the copy was likely to be human-generated.
Yeah, so
It's like, Wired,
That's
you
your
have
due
reported
diligence?
on this before. Who allowed this line to go in a story?
Yeah, that's absurd. Well, it's just, this is more AI slop, and we're going to see more and more of that. And they got Wired and Business Insider got conned. What it's revealed, however, is they aren't doing even the slightest bit of due diligence on articles they publish.
The
which is very
volume now,
disappointing.
Leo, at the newspapers I know of, the Metro newspapers, it's all trending chasing. Find the trending topic, rewrite something, they have a quota. They have 5, 6, 8.
That's been the
years now.
MO for a decade. I was doing that in
for Wired.
2017.
Yep.
Not at Wired. I was doing that at New York Mag.
Right.
Wired doesn't really do that sort of trending. This is a unique thing because Wired typically, they only work with freelancers for longer narrative reported features, and kind of this was a one-off story about a internet trend. I think the conclusion of Wired's kind of mea culpa essay is interesting, though, which is fabulous and plagiarists are as old as media itself, but AI presents a new challenge. It lets anybody craft a perfect pitch with a simple prompt and play act the role of journalist convincingly enough to fool, us. We acted quickly once we discovered the ruse, and we've taken steps to ensure this doesn't happen again. But in this new era, every newspaper should be prepared to do the same. It's kind of difficult to check when you're, I guess, a overworked editor dealing with a big news cycle. I think this is more of a sign of media economics and the dark place this has gotten the news industry than anything a specific publication did wrong.
There is a knock-on effect. I'm going to have to be much more careful about stories I pull for our shows. Maybe I will have to do the due diligence on those. We report stories like that all the time. To my knowledge, we have not repeated a fake story.
Knock wood, Leo.
Knock on wood, but I could probably be fooled because in the past I've assumed the authority of somebody like Business Insider or Wired, and figured, well, they must have vetted it. Apparently, that's a mistake, and I won't do that anymore. So expect much shorter shows going forward. You're watching Intelligent Machines. We are going to wrap it up with our picks of the week in just a moment. Jeff Jarvis is here, professor of journalistic innovation emeritus at all those trademark graduate schools of journalism at the City University of New York. Also at Montclair State University and SUNY Stony Brook. His author credits include the Gutenberg Parenthesis, now out in paperback. Oh, look, there's the bookshelf. Magazine, now out in audio format, and The Web We Weave, a fabulous book about which is almost a manifesto for how to save the web, which at this point we really need to work on. There you go. Thank you, Jeff. Paris Martineau is also here. She is responsible for radioactive shrimp coverage at Consumer Reports. Actually, that's an old lower third. We got the old lower third up for you.
Wow, we do have the old lower third up.
All of that's still good. Though,
look at all. It is all still good. But I used to have such a meaty lower third.
You did. Now we just say Consumer Reports. Paris.nyc is the website.
Paris.nyc.
For which she does not speak on the show.
Right.
I do not speak for them. I do not represent them. I merely worked for them in my.
We are very grateful that they allow her to be here.
Yes.
It's true.
It's a good
very
point.
Cool.
Thank you for joining us. Club members, thank you for your support. We couldn't do this show without your support. 25% of our operating expenses now comes from Club Twit. I think that's a really good thing. It means we're getting the support. We're getting, I think of it almost as votes. People say, yes, we like what you do. We want you to do more of it. If you like what we do and you want us to do more of it, you want to keep those shows going, all the stuff we do in the club, including coverage of keynotes coming up. We're going to do the Apple iPhone announcement. That's September 9th. Micah Sargent and I will do that. And we will do it only in the club. So that's why you need to be a club member. Are you
going to do Meta
Connect? Yes, we are. You want to join me for that?
Yeah, sure. That'll be interesting.
More than welcome. That's our new thing. We do all the keynotes in the club only, so that's one reason to
that's
to
how I watched the Google
made by Google
debacle, and it was fun.
Micah and I
was held.
Mike and I had a lot of fun watching Jimmy Fallon and company. We also have special shows we do only in the club, like Hands on Windows, Hands on Apple. Micah and Paul, respectively, actually irrespectively, do that show. Paul does Hands on Windows. Micah does Hands on Apple. We also do, what else? Hands on Tech. We do Home Theater Geeks with Scott Wilkinson, Chris Marquardt's Photo Show, Stacy's Book Club. I can go on. Best thing to do is find out more about Club Twit by going to twit.tv/clubtwit. There's a 2-week free trial, which will give you actually enough time to sign up and at least listen to the Apple keynote, see if it's worth your time. I think it is. And it sure is a big boon for us. So thank you in advance to all the club members. twit.tv/clubtwit. We will have to end I am a little early during the Meta Connect. We've decided, though, really it's a continuation of the show because they're going to begin at 4 p.m. So we will continue the show. We'll start the show at a usual time and we'll continue into Meta Connect. So you will be here. It's only really a question of whether you want to stay. Same for you, Paris. If hunger is taking over and you're shaking, you can take off. But if you want to stick around for as long as Mark Zuckerberg does, you're more than welcome to.
Is that this week or next week?
It's 2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh. And it's interesting because they're going to supposedly reveal Hypernova smart glasses with the display glasses and the wristband to
So they have to be called a Hypernova.
You know.
Wait, can we have a brief moment for the incredible image Anthony generated?
You were laughing.
I was trying not to laugh because I realized my mic was still on, which is the official No Guac for Public Figures title card. And I like that in the bottom right corner, it says silly episode, ! Just in case you didn't get that from the little avocados with their arms crossed.
The angry avocados.
Oh, I now get the headline. That was because Gemini wouldn't do guac out of my shirt with me.
No guac for public figures.
Yeah. Or maybe it thinks I'm a private individual and that's why I wouldn't do it. Pick of the week, Paris Martineau.
All right. I got a couple things here. One, my general pick of the week that is relevant to no one but me because it has already happened as a niche local event it was the South Slope Derby.
I saw your pictures. So cute.
Which is a delightful event that happens every summer in South Park Slope of Brooklyn, where it's a summer camp for kids where they learn how to do like soapbox derby cars and then they race them down a bunch of closed streets all in like a one by one and they get rated. They have interesting themes. That one was a
double-decker bus.
Double-decker bus themed. There was one where I didn't get a photo of this because it was so surprising. There was one where children went down in some sort of cart and then just adults emerged to pelt them with balls. I don't entirely understand why. There's always something strange going on, but I don't know. It was just a delightful.
It's so Brooklyn.
It is.
I love it.
As I was walking up there, I always stop at this one coffee shop and I was getting my coffee and the guy was like, "Oh, up to anything fun today?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to the South Slope Derby around the road." And he's like, "Oh, who are you rooting for?" And I was like, "Oh, no one. I'm just a childless adult who goes to participate because I enjoy it." That photo is where they crash all the cars into a big pile and then adults come out with sledgehammers and saws.
No. They destroy them at the end?
They do, because where else are these going to go? In people's apartments?
You got apartments in Brooklyn.
So the guy's like, "Oh, who are you rooting for?" I say, "No one, I'm a childless adult." He's like, "Oh, then you've got to pick an enemy, right?" And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "You should pick one of the kids to be your enemy and root against them for the race." And I was like, "That's a way to do it, my guy."
Boo, hiss.
Boo, hiss.
I'm loving it.
And these photos were taken with Project Indigo. And they were so good, right?
Nice.
Which was my pick last week.
Nice.
I got 2.5 other picks, just in case. One is I saw someone posting a couple of months ago or something. We'd done the internet road trip, which was a part of the Neil.fun website where
love Neil.fun.
Kind of the internet's controlling a road trip. They had gone up through Canada, but now they're back in the US, in Vermont, if you want to go check where they are.
Yeah. They seem to be driving off the road now.
Yeah, they're kind of right now stuck in a parking lot, but they were on the road a bit recently. But I just thought it was a fun thing. And I wanted to shout out some of the reviews we got from last
yay!
week. People heard our plea. We got a whopping 6 reviews, guys.
Yay!
Sorgatron thanked me for making the olds feel hip again and learn terms they can use while teaching the youths.
That's true.
Anonymous mailer said it was informative, loved the topic and all the information presented, always
Thank
learning
you.
something new, and bring
Thank you.
back the jingle. It's back.
Thanks to you all.
Thanks
We've
to your
got-
votes.
Over
Just
Leo's dead
Just
body.
like the Cracker Barrel, when the president speaks,
Yeah.
I bring back the jingle. Yep.
Egon
Cracker and the
Cast
barrel.
1 said, in today's media landscape where every podcast promises to change what you think, Intelligent Machine actually delivers, mostly by making you wonder if your toaster deserves a college degree. Each
Or
episode
how
is
to
a
load the
thrilling blend
dishwasher.
of futurism and low-key panic. Like TED Talks, if the speaker occasionally admitted, yes, this algorithm will probably replace your job, but look how polite it is about it. It's a really good review.
That's an excellent review. Yeah.
Another one
Wow.
yesterday from Mr. J. Nice says, topical even years later. You'd think a show that's been around for so long would run out of steam, but you're wrong. There's no grok suckers here. The clankers can hate, but this show brings AI and other ML-based news to you every week. Other ones from Mon7EZ and Paul VC, all good. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
And if you want to contribute to our hopefully climbing up reviews, you can leave a review on Apple Podcasts.
Yay. We appreciate that. Thank you. Those are all excellent. Now it's time for Jeff is actually adding picks as we speak.
Which
Jeff,
I
you
have
already
not
had like
done.
9 picks.
Well, it's all of a theme. I haven't done a
okay.
TikTok corner in a while. And in honor of Salt Hank's stardom,
Yes.
as
He just, by the way, I'm a little nervous. His mom just texted me. He just bought a Rolex. So now I'm worried.
uh-oh.
He's going, and he went to the U.S. Open. And he got his
Okay,
forehead signed.
everyone's going to the US Open that lives
I
in
know.
Brooklyn right now.
In
though.
fact, I'm surprised Jeff isn't there, to be honest.
It's a whole story. Well, he got his forehead signed by whom?
Some star. I can show you the Instagram. You would know who it is. I had no idea who it is. Oh, maybe it was a reel. Would that mean that it's gone now forever?
Ugh.
No, it's still on. It might have been a story though. Also, because I forgot to check the video feed of Intelligent Machine podcast review. Shout out to Bruce Allen and Dashes, who also left us podcast reviews.
Very nice.
Thanks for listening,
Thank you.
guys.
Very nice.
Keep doing
I
it,
don't.
folks. Keep
I
doing
don't.
it.
I don't see it on his feed, but although here he is with Adam Mosseri of Instagram making a sandwich. So
What?
what? I know. Isn't that a little strange?
Ask
It's
him
a
to come on
different
Twitch.
sandwich.
No, I think he's making the prime rib.
Oh, yes,
I think
okay.
he is. Yeah, but I don't see the video of him getting his forehead signed. I don't know. Was it Djokovic?
Facebook?
I don't know who
Maybe
it
it was
was, but
Facebook.
it's somebody he was jumping up and down with joy to get his forehead signed. So
As long as he doesn't tattoo it.
I hope not. It was interesting.
So in honor of Salt Hank's fame on TikTok and
Yes.
TikTok as a medium, I want to just quickly mention Anna Lapwood
Yeah.
is a young, she was the head of music at one of the Cambridge colleges and the organist. And she's been so big, she now has left and she's started albums and she sells out the Albert Hall with organs.
I've watched her TikTok.
She's spectacular. She's a very generous person. Then years ago, you and I compared notes. I brought in a singer and you brought in a different singer. I can't remember who yours was, but mine was Leve, spelled Laufey, who is a Icelandic jazzy singer. And she's now a jazz pop star selling out arenas because of TikTok.
Because of TikTok.
Wow.
She's wonderful. And but there's all these new things that come up all the time. My favorite is a teacher who happens to be Black, who's Scottish, gave a rant online. If you go to line 170, do that first. And it caused quite a stir.
because he's talking about the weather in Scotland.
So just listen to him. Just listen to him.
All right, we'll play it.
Explain to me why Scottish school holidays are a bit of a washout. Right? It's been all right this year, but it's been a bit of a washout. And then we get to the week the kids go back. And
so this led to people.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Because
I can never understand Scottish.
I love Scottish accents. I love Scottish
accents. There's a very famous bit by a Scottish comedian talking to the elevator, the voice recognizer in the elevator, and doesn't understand a word he's saying.
So people went berserk over this. There's a Guardian story there.
Because he's black?
Because he's black, and he has a Scottish accent. He's a black Scot.
Well, what?
Well, okay. Roy Wood Jr. went there, line 169, and met up with a whole bunch of black Scots.
Oh, I love it. So why wouldn't there be?
He interviews this guy.
Comments are worse than the black Scottish people because they're going, how can you be so stupid to not know that these black Scottish people? But Americans live in like an echo chamber. Whether the global media inadvertently or not decides to keep you guys from seeing us, like you're not seeing content made by black Scottish people. You're not seeing content made by white Scottish people. So the surprise you see people that look like you with an accent like mine, that would blow my mind anyway.
Well, I think also it's also indicative of just how much entertainment influences our stereotypical beliefs. Like, because if you told me a Scottish person, I would never in a million years. Like, if you said a black Brit, that's not a surprise. We've seen enough of them.
We got Dave, we got Skepta, we got everybody out there.
Yeah, so it starts there, right?
And that's a good point. That's a good point.
I love what says in one of his posts, Wood made the point that part of the reason why black Americans don't know about black Scots is because American schools barely teach them about black people in America.
Yes. That's true. And less all the time.
So let's try to make another star here. I love this guy. Line 173, Carpool Shakespeare.
Carpool
No,
Shakespeare.
He's not a Scottish.
Oh, but it'd be great if it were a Scottish carpool.
Oh my God, he's not.
All right, here we go. Let's see what he's got to say. Carpool Shakespeare.
This day is called the Feast of Crispian. He that outlives this day and comes safe, stand to tiptoe when the day is named and rouse him at the name of Crispian. He that shall live this day and see old age will yearly on the vigil feast his neighbors and say, yo.
This is Henry V.
Yeah. Hank Sank. Very famous.
He strip his sleeve and show his scars and say, look, these wounds I had on Crispin's day. Old men forget, Yet all shall be forgot, but he'll remember with advantages what feats
he's urging his troops on. That day. They will say, I fought with you on Christmas
Then shall our names, familiar in his mouth as household words, right? Harry the King, Bedford and Exeter, Warwick and Talbot, Salisbury, Salisbury and Gloucester, be in their flowing cups freshly remembered.
Isn't this great?
Yeah.
There are theater kids everywhere for those with the eyes to see them.
And Crispian shall never go by from this day to the ending of the world, but we in it shall be remembered. We few.
We proud. We happy few.
We band of brothers. For he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother. Be never so vile this day will gentle his condition. And gentlemen in England now abed shall think themselves accursed that they were not here and hold their manhood cheap whilst any speaks that fought with us on St. Crispin's Day.
That is awesome.
Isn't that just the greatest?
That is wonderful. Yeah, that's one of the best Shakespeare speeches too. It's a great.
It is. So this is TikTok. TikTok makes Hank and Anna Lapwood and
I agree. I agree.
Carpool Shakespeare. It's a beautiful thing. And
the good news is
one more.
In theory, TikTok, the ban on TikTok will go into effect in just a couple of weeks, but the president already indicated, I don't think so.
So it also makes one last thing.
Yes.
Podcasting dogs.
But of course,
podcasting cats.
She said, I need obedience training. She's been getting her life together since the pandemic started.
Wait a minute.
Keep going.
She wants me to bring the ball back to her so badly. I don't understand why she keeps throwing it away. Like, make up your mind.
Real talk. What's with making us do tricks for food?
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, send me that slice of cheese. I'm not trying to spin right now.
So she says my nails are getting too long and has to trim them.
Bro, she literally makes her nails longer on purpose.
Are these? So is that all AI, or are they real?
Yeah. There's a whole bunch. There's also, if you look up,
Are the voices AI generated though?
I don't know. It's a good question. We'll also look up TikTok babies. Just do it.
I have seen TikTok. My mother is obsessed with this.
They're freaky.
Yeah, it's strange. I don't know. I think these are fun.
I've always thought that it was. No, that's definitely not TikTok babies. Okay, we
can't fall down this rabbit hole, Kyle.
No, especially because there we go. There's the actual TikTok babies, cute babies all over the world, and there's zero
they're not
videos.
Real babies. They're AI babies.
Most of these are not babies. At least,
so
they were babies
they put
18 years ago.
In front of the baby, and the baby talks.
Yeah,
that's what I should have found those before you, but.
Yeah,
hey,
it's mostly
shout out to Gewgaws, guys.
Scantily clad young women.
Gewgaws,
guys. Google,
not
Google,
Gewgaws.
Gewgaws. Yeah, Gewgaws. I think you're right. It's Gewgaws, but it's not.
But
what did he say?
Two of them said Gewgaws.
Yeah, I think that's weird. This is the problem. Now that I've searched for TikTok babies and found a bunch of scantily clad young women, I will be seeing that in my TikTok feed for the rest of my life. All right, let's see.
Will you bring me the toilet paper? Thank you.
Oh yeah, this is not.
Some of these are profane.
I don't want to see it. That's just real babies.
None of these are the right ones.
Let's not show any videos of children we haven't pre-screened. You know?
Good point. That's a very good
AI
point.
Babies. They're
AI babies are okay.
We'll just keep doing this.
Maybe if I put AI babies.
Gewgaw.
Yes, it's AI babies. That's
I will say from my understanding of the AI baby thing is the things the AI babies say are profane. So I don't know if they would be the best fit for the show.
We're just going to stop right here.
John has turned his camera on, which indicates something to me.
John, what do you want to say to us, John Ashley, producer?
I feel
on
like
vacation. John's filling in. Yes.
I feel like this is reminiscent of me on Mad Break, where I would probably play the rat hole sound effect.
Yeah, well, we're ready to go.
Yeah,
so.
We're done. Everybody's a critic. Oh well.
It is hot up here in the attic, and I am ready to go.
Hey, Paris was warning everyone. Let's not get into this rat hole. Essentially,
yes, she is. She's warning us, and we should listen because she's got good sense.
Gewgaw.
You corrected my admittedly flawed pronunciation with something that's just not even in the ballpark. That's what I don't know.
Well, the thing is, no one ever knows how to spell it.
Gewgaw.
It's Geegaw.
No,
I have never heard this word until today.
It's a showy trifle.
It is a showy trifle.
Spelled Gewgaw.
Gewgaw.
No, it's Geew.
Gewgaw.
It's a less common variant of
Gewgaw. Gewgaw.
Never heard of Gewgaw. I think this is AI pranking me.
No.
Gewgaw.
Because I used this in a book, and a copy editor then corrected me. I thought that can't be right, but it was.
Gewgaw. Gewgaw is a less common variant of Gewgaw. No, it's not. It's
Gewgaw.
That's not less common than
Gewgaw.
Gewgaw isn't even a word.
It's not a soft.
Okay, let's go through the synonyms list here on Merriam-Webster. We have normal ones like bobble, tchotchke, knick-knack. Then we get to gimcrack, biblot, goud.
I'm going to use these. Curio.
Kickshaw, doodad. I like it.
It's a knick-knack doodad collectible.
Click on the all synonyms. Let's go there.
G-jaw, gimcrack.
There's got to be more.
Trumpery.
Trumpery.
It is an objet, a trifle, a figurine, a trinketry.
Bijouterie.
Bagatelle. Bric-a-brac.
Trinketry.
Okay. Trinketry. Bijouterie.
Gimcrackery.
See, we didn't go down one rabbit hole, but we went down another one.
Objet.
All right. Stop
there
it.
Too.
Stop it. I gotta these my avocados
wants to go
wilting.
home.
Everybody wants to go home. I want to go home. Paris Martineau, her home is there in beautiful Brooklyn, California.
It's true.
Just look for the well-trimmed trees, and you'll find Paris nearby.
You will find Paris
You
and
will.
the soapbox derby
Danger
cars
Paris.
chopped into pieces. And then what? Do they bring them home for their home fires? What do they just chop them up and leave them in the street? What
I
happens
assume
then?
that they're carted away at some point, but I've never stuck around that long to figure it out. Or perhaps they put them in a large pile that they then reuse next year. It probably can't be that. Where would you store that much loose
G-Jaws.
wood and G-Jaws?
Trinketry.
There was
Paris
a Red
is
Bull
a
themed one.
professional investigative journalist at the incredible Consumer Reports. We are so glad you are with us.
This is her
Paris.
amateur moment here.
This is where she pretends not to have class.
Hey, shout out to all the nuclear adjacent researcher people who actually did email me after about a nuclear shrimp on Twitter this week with some interesting shrimp conspiracies.
Oh, and by the way, Clinton is the Clinton nuclear power plant is in Bloomington, Illinois, not Bloomington,
sorry.
Indiana.
Okay, there is more than one Bloomington.
There is a Bloomington, Illinois,
All right, I
and that is
apologize.
it is one of two nuclear reactive.
He
nuclear
looked like he was
reactors.
Indiana, but
Yes. Well,
Don't
Illinois,
go spreading false shrimp conspiracies, guys.
He might be from Indiana. How about that?
I bet.
That's Jeff Jarvis. We already gave him all
I'm
the
an
plugs
Illinois
he
snob.
deserves. He is an Illinois
I was
snob.
born in Illinois.
Oh, Burke figured out what happens to those old chopped up soapbox derby vehicles. They're used to make hot dogs.
Oh, that's great.
And that's where the Coney Island dog came from. Many people don't know that. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We do Intelligent Machines, God only knows why, every Wednesday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2100 UTC. Watch us live on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, X.com, and Kick. Oh, of course, if you're in the club, you can watch us behind the velvet rope in the beautiful Club Twit Discord, opulently laid out with free champagne for all. After the fact, on-demand versions of the show at twit.tv/IM. There's a YouTube channel dedicated to it, but the best thing to do is subscribe in your favorite podcast client and leave us a great review in the 5 stars. And if you do it on the Apple Podcasts, Miss Martineau may pick up on it and read it someday on our show.
It's true.
Thank you so much.
You know what we say on this podcast?
What do we say?
Gewgaw and good night.
Gewgaw and good night. Famous Edward R. Murrow.
Gewgaw and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good morning, Gewgaw, good evening, and good night.
So long, everyone. No matter how much spare time you have, twit.tv has the perfect tech news format for your schedule. Stay up to date with everything happening in tech and get tech news your way with twit.tv. Start your week with This Week in Tech for an in-depth, comprehensive dive into the top stories every week. And for a midweek boost, Tech News Weekly brings you concise, quick updates with the journalists breaking the news. Whether you need just the nuts and bolts or want the full analysis, stay informed with twit.tv's perfect pairing of tech news programs.